We are back once again with the Activision's Call of Duty Mobile Community Challenge, where we are bringing you the best COD mobile gameplay that Australia and New Zealand have to offer. We're still in the middle of group stages, and while there is still some time for teams to secure spots in the finals, it is clear that some teams are falling behind while others are well ahead. Joining me today to help me and you make sense of all the action is Mao. Mate, how do you fare this fine afternoon?
I've been doing very good this past week. It's been the first.
Are competing for today. Let's bring up that prize pool. Of course, first place in this $9,000 prize pool will be $3,000, followed by $2,000, $1,500 at third place, and some diminishing rewards as time goes on. Also, let's have a quick look at the standings as well while we've got it. And I mean, having a look at those standings right now, Mao, is there anything that's out of place, or is the competition panning out based on your power rankings so far?
Well, it's definitely expected to see Mindfreak at the top with 6 wins and 0 losses. Nothing out of the ordinary right there, just them dominating as usual. Pride X Ivory coming in at second place, looking very good for them. IFM 4 wins and 2 losses. I would have expected to see a little bit better performance, but right now they're still doing okay.
Beautiful in that sense. And before we do jump into the action, let's bring up that schedule as well today. We have to take a look at how this journey will pan out. First up to bat will be K&D versus XF, then XF versus the Pew Pew Dudes at 2 p.m. Our title match for today would be Mindfreak versus Pride X Ivory, and to close out the day will be K&D versus Disrespect at 4 p.m. And just a quick FYI, guys, when it comes to the schedule, sometimes we do have a few delays, but you can be assured that if we do have the ability to bring that action just a little bit earlier for you, believe me, it will be there for your consumption. Also, with that, Mao, as well, let's talk about that map pool. It will consist of Summit, Standoff, Raid, Takeoff, Firing Range, Hackney Yard, and Crossfire. And all me into this secondary weapon, aptly named Shorty, a sawed-off shotgun, have entered the ring. Mao, do you see any changes in the QXR/Bison favored meta with these new additions?
Well, right now, the AMAX, I personally haven't unlocked it. However, the gameplay that I have seen on it, it does look like a very viable AR weapon, probably up there as one of the top one ARs that you will be using. It's very comparable to an AK-117 with lower recoil. And as we know, the AK-117 has been used every now and then in AEL. So I definitely see it being viable in this tournament.
Well, that's not the only change as well. We have to take into account the new addition of the K9 operator skill, or as I'd like to call it, who let the dogs out. Now, is this operator worth its salt, or will the Sparrow and Annihilator remain the skills of choice going forward?
Personally, I don't think it's the most valuable operator skill you can have. However, it is good when the enemies don't expect it. It's just the fact that it's very easy to shoot. It's pretty easy to see it coming, especially if it's running straight in the open. It's got 300 HP, which isn't that hard to take down, and it's definitely easy to get, so maybe it's worth it.
We do want to have a quick chat about K&D versus XF, which we did have a bit of a chance. These guys probably are very well evenly matched in terms of their standings at the moment, but have there really been any changes going forward for everyone else? Or in terms, well, not really changes in that. Who do you actually favor in this matchup between K&D versus XF?
Well, right now I'm definitely favoring XF because they've definitely been putting on a very good performance, and that I wasn't really expecting. They've really pushed themselves very far in this tournament so far, so I feel like they're definitely going to be taking this win, personally.
I'm pretty excited to see. Well, we're just going to be waiting for these guys to get ready, jump into the matches, make something happen. Really excited to see what's going to be what's going to be happening next up in terms of this competition. As I mentioned, a few of them are beginning to really, put themselves ahead. Mind Freak in particular are definitely up the top. This was completely expected. We know these guys were the heavy hitters throughout the tournament, or the tournament favorites in the sense that they always seem to come back and have amazing performances. But I really feel that IFM has been a bit of a dark horse coming into this competition. Would you agree with that sense? I know you said that you had a bit of critique for the performances beforehand, but they are relatively new coming into this competition.
Yes, I do think that they are going to be able to, if they definitely try hard enough, they're definitely able to pull something back. And I've seen them do it before, so let's see if they can do it again.
I have to wait and see what's going to happen with that sense of it. Hopefully we do jump into it very shortly. I think we do have a little bit of issues there in terms of just things happening. And sorry guys, like I've realized I've disappeared. I've gone into the void. To be honest, I was trying to operate the K9 operator skill. The dog bit me. I had to close off the damn camera. All right, so look. These things do happen a little bit from time to time. Once I do sort the dog out, put him back into his cage, make sure everything's fine, I should be able to bring myself back into it. So do not worry about it, guys. I am fine in every sense of the word. Trying to check to see, though, how are the teams going at the moment? I believe they're ready for us to jump into it shortly, but I'm not sure. Can you hear me all clear? Is everything fine there, Mao?
Yes, everything's good.
Brilliant. Just wanted to double check that the dog managed to get onto the cord of my microphone as well while I was at it. So a little bit of an issue there. I must have to take into account. So once I get everything sorted out, you'll be able to see my face once again. I will also magically get rid of the scar on my face in the process of doing that as these things go on. Now I do want to take into account that secondary shotgun, the shorty. That's pretty decent to actually have a shotgun as a secondary weapon. That's something that's typically not very what's the word I'm looking for here? Not usual. Something that you see. Yeah, it's very unusual to have a shotgun as a secondary. Now, have you had a chance to actually pilot that shotgun, see if it has the same sort of oomph that a typical shotgun has, or will it, fall short in most cases? It really does need to be up close and personal for it to have that major effect.
Well, not yet has the shotgun been released, so until now we're safe if it's overpowered. But right now, because it's a double barrel shotgun, it's only got 2 rounds in it before you have to reload. Hopefully it's not the most broken thing in the game. Hopefully it's not comparable to the 725 in Modern Warfare. That's just what I'm hoping right now. It's just something that you can use as a last resort when you run out of ammo.
Well, I guess that's something that you really need to take into account, that idea that it's literally just a backup. I feel, unless it's a search and destroy, you're probably not going to be running out of ammo. The action in the dominations and hard points are just so quick across the board that most of the time that you will be able to get onto the point, get your objective into play, and then you'll probably die in the process of holding onto that point. So ammo is not really a problem. It really will probably come down to that. But that being said, guys, we seem to be ready to roll. We will be jumping straight into the action. To be K and D versus X up first up, and it of course will be hard point. Let's see how this plays out.
Now, as we are going into the game right here, we are going to see Depressed with a Locust. I'm not sure if he's going to be keeping that, but it definitely is interesting to see a sniper in not only Hardpoint, it's Summit Hardpoint, which is a very close-range map favoring shotguns and SMGs. We are going to see UDOT running the QXR though. He does get a major assist, and we are going to see Manda down the bottom, taking that Hardpoint for his own team.
Off the back of XF really showing some superiority as well. You can tell trying to jump into the side and get some shots there, but it's not going to be able to help out. And XF really are controlling the point in all sense of the matter. You can see K&D's trying to find their way from the side corners of the map to jump in, but there's really good spread all around that hard point now for XF, and they are having a hard time just breaking through this wall that has been erected.
Yes, right now we are going to see XF take the first hard point very strong right here. Now, we did already see some weapon change-ups. We saw Josh the Pro, instead of rocking his usual Bison, which he's been dominating with, instead he's using the Holger LMG, which is very interesting.
How does this represent a change going forward? I mean, now at this point in time, it doesn't seem to be doing too much for K&D for them to actually get in there and make something work. XF still holding control, but now you can see everyone's beginning to move around to that next hard point as it comes into spawn. K&D still unable to get in there just for the time being, but it looks like finally they might be able to gain control. Nope, XF still maintain control on that side, control that entrance point into the warehouse there, stopping them from getting through from that control room.
Yes, and it looks like K&D is able to get 2 quick points onto the hard point. However, XF is going to take it back straight away. We do have someone coming from behind. However, they are taken down. Manda, he is ready with his Pred missiles, so he can use that whenever K&D does get on the hard point.
Very nice to hold on to those score streaks when you do have the opportunity to use them just to maintain control throughout the entire map. And this is an absolute devastation for XF now. The target again is 150 right now, 86 points to 2. They're making it look easy.
Yeah, so now they are doing very well. We can see Depressed with 8 kills and 3 deaths so far. 2-96. Right now, this hasn't really even been a close competition. We do see K&D on the hardpoint, however, they are just going to get the extra scraps from the remaining hardpoint as it does update.
Some scraps still do matter, but at this point in time, you can see XF already making their move, repositioning for, of course, what will be the lion's share of the hard point. 100 points already in control, and now K&D need to find their way in. They've already set down a number of defenses in each specific point coming into it. We do have a Predator missile come down just to put a little bit of defenses in there. Beginning to use their score streaks now, K&D, to actually put themselves in a position to get control of this point, and they do manage to wrest it back from XF finally.
Yes, we do see K&D get possession of the hard point. The question is, how long are they going to be able to keep it for as they lose it right now? As they are able to get it back somehow, but we do have a lot of...
We do have a lot of score streaks.
Alright, XF is able to take possession of the hardpoint again. However, it is about to update, and we already see multiple K&D members right next to the next hardpoint.
Slowly they're beginning to make their next move around just a little bit into position here. I mean, KXF using that presence of mind, understanding when those next changes come to it. It'll be 6 seconds until it does unlock. Although there is a number of members sitting on there from K&D for the time being. Continue to look for opportunities to jump in. They're going to see it. You're about to jump in, get that few extra kills, make sure that those frags and slays are coming into place. But XF, once again, well and truly in full control of this hard point. It really is coming down to the fact that Nunu is holding that point, but he will be felled. Now, trying to make the way in, but still unable to take control full. But K&D will just be able to jump in towards the middle here, see if they can fight back, perhaps make a comeback come into play.
Well, right now, a comeback would be insane as XF only need 3 more points to win. And it looks like they're going to take the win right now. So rip the comeback.
Too quick off the back of that one there. That was so good from XF. We can see a little bit of a shining light from K&D. Pretty happy that they do have the ability to definitely contest those points, but they need to be consistent throughout the entire match if they're going to actually be able to get the points and get the wins directly afterwards. Of course, the next round will be that Search and Destroy, and we've always talked about how that tends to favor the teams that might fall behind in these quick rounds. So a little bit of a different there. It might be a bit different for K&D coming into a Search and Destroy versus a hard point.
Yes, right now we did see a very good performance from XF, being able to take it out 150-33. We see Depressed with 19 kills, being the MVP for his team. We do see Josh the Pro, who is usually leading the team with 11 kills, so he did still put up a very good performance.
It really begins to show you Depressed has been one of those players, time and time again, who's been doing such a fantastic work here for XF. His ability to make moves around the map, control it in both places, and also use a number of different playstyles. I've seen this particular player pilot both the sniper and the assault rifles to an excellent degree, and having that versatility throughout matches is really useful, especially when we do come into the Search and Destroys that we were talking about. K&D might be able to pull something back off of XF. The ability to have that versatility in your plays and begin to play those maps the way they need to be done is something that can just not be overlooked.
Yes, in that map also, I just want to mention that we did see multiple weapons that I didn't really expect. We saw a Holger, which was not really expected personally for me on a hardpoint summit, which usually favors SMGs. And knowing Josh the Pro uses the PP19 Bison, it was very unpredicted to see him use the Holger in Hardpoint Summit. We also did see a sniper for some time from Depressed, and we also saw a PDW, which is typically seen as an off-meta weapon, and the person that was using that weapon did have diamond on it, so they are very dedicated to that weapon.
We recently did have that update come in. Have there been a little bit of nerfs to the typically favored weapons, looking at that QXR and the Bison that perhaps we haven't really touched on? Or is it perhaps over time players begin to realize, you know what, these weapons, they're strong, but we're beginning to see merits in the other things that are available as well?
Yes, it's definitely interesting to see how they switch up the meta as the weeks go by. As Call of Duty does bring out new updates and balance changes, it's definitely going to be a meta that we are going to see switch up.
We are just going to be waiting now. I believe it will be Search and Destroy on Standoff coming up next. Standoff, how does that map actually fare in the Search and Destroy?
Well, we are definitely going to see a favor towards the snipers. Whoever is able to get that initial pick with a sniper to bring it down to a 4v5 situation, it's definitely going to have that one player advantage that will put that team to potentially a map win. However, it is up to the enemy team to see how they can deal with that player down.
We'll be looking definitely at Depressed, who we know is a pretty mean user of that sniper rifle when time comes into play. So it looks like we will to see how this is going to be playing out. Is there any standout players on the flip side of things for K&D that might be able to make something work? I mean, we have seen Josh the Pro do some pretty good work themselves as well.
Yes, right now I'm definitely looking at Neff. I've had some experience talking to him, and he definitely seems like a pretty good player as a team and by himself. So I'm interested to see how he's going to be able to perform in this match.
Well, seeing as it is going to be a Search and Destroy, I think I might let you take the reins here at the beginning of the round, just to sort of run us through how these players and all how these teams will be making use of the positioning and the map for strategic control.
Okay, as we are getting into the game right now, we are going to see Neff using the QXR, which is nothing really unusual. We are going to see him use an extended mag on that as well, which is usually used, but sometimes people can question it as you do have 40 mags in the original. We're going to see Depressed with a QQ9. He is going to be holding Broken, looking for anyone to find. He is going to go up and find someone in Courtyard, however they do run into Grannies. We're going to see Neff go up the top with his QXR. Very questionable, but whatever, he can do him. We're going to see it come down to a 3v4 situation going to XF's way. We're going to see Josh the Pro using a HVK, a weapon that used to be super strong a few seasons ago. And we see Neff camping in the corner, able to take him down, which now brings the player advantage to K&D's way. Right now we do see a kill from XF, and we bring it down to a 2v1 situation. DJ Nunu, the last one for XF to be alive. He is a bit damaged, so he is going to run away. He's got his revolver in his hands to speed up. And it looks like we're going to have the bomb dropped at B, right at jump wall, and he is going to have to pick that up before he is able to plant. And however, he does get taken down by K&D, bringing them to their first round win.
Well, now we're bringing him back into it. K&D, as we can see, seems to have the ability to, again, stand up to XF, but really that X Factor coming in and showing us full control here. Now we have to wait and see how XF, as the attack is coming into it, will make it work. We do see that it's going to be Depressed once again with the bomb. But this time around, K&D showing us a completely different ballgame. U-Duck coming through, managing to get a number of players down for XF.
Yes, we're going to see it go down in a 4v3 situation for K&D. Once again, taking player advantage. However, it is brought down to an even situation while XF gets a pick. We're going to see a bomb plant from XF go down. We're going to see a shotgun at barrels, which is very good to see as we are seeing more variety in the meta, especially shotguns. We haven't seen many so far. We're going to see a pick go onto XF and get one from K&D, which brings it down to a 1v2 situation right now as DJ Nunu finds a snipe. We are going to see K&D find a nice snipe onto Nunu, and we're going to see a quick situation right here, and unfortunately he misses the shot, and it looks like he's able to take this round.
Yeah, for a second there, I was looking to see if perhaps K&D might be able to actually come back into that one. Unfortunately, though, that shark symbol, the portrait, not going to be enough here for what I'm going to be calling Love Heart. Pretty interesting to see how this one will play out there, but Again, K&D can make things work as long as they hold on to that momentum on the initial starts there and continue to pick off XF without losing members.
Yes, right now we're going to see both teams playing it a little bit more slower. We're going to see an aggressive rush from... Never mind. We're going to see a rush with one of our XF members running around everywhere looking for someone to shoot at right now. We're going to see him playing shotgun, so they can't afford to miss that shot. However, they do, and UDOT takes the kill. We're going to see Josh the Pro running around barrels. He spots an enemy, however, he is caught and he does have limited ammo, so he has to preserve it, so he can't pre-fire too badly. We're going to see him turn around and get a quick kill, however, he does get taken down by UDOT.
Indeed, finally finding their ways to get into this and actually take a little bit back away from XF, and really looking at UDOT here to take out two members with a quick crouch, actually a quick hit to quick down to prone immediately with the shots, unable for XF to make a comeback from those players. Really beginning to make advantage for K&D.
Yes, right now we do see an aggressive rush from UDOT into Granny, so he does get taken down by Josh the Pro with the HVK. We see Depressed with his LK at the top of Granny Server. He does rotate to the bottom. We're going to see a 3v5 situation for XF's advantage. And we're going to see what looks like a bomb plan, hopefully soon. Otherwise, he is going... No, we're not going to see a bomb plan soon. We're going to see him rushing aggressively into blue. However, his team does get taken down by K&D in quick succession. And it looks like Neff is going to secure the final kill onto Josh the Pro.
Nice, good turnaround here coming through for K&D. I really liked what Just the Pro did to start off the round. Was there in position, understanding that UDOT has been doing rush after rush and managed to mow UDOT down before an opportunity to get into position and actually take out a few members. But all of that said and done didn't matter in the end for XF. K&D still beginning to show us why they are one of the forces to look into this competition. Again, there's going to be two trades back-to-back between these members as well, and very quick kills come across. XF again taking an early lead.
Yes, we're going to see it do down to a 2v3 situation, as we do see a nice pick from Loveheart to bring it down to an even situation right here. We do have both teams right next to their teammates, and we're going to see the bomb down right near the hay bale, which they're going to pick up right now from DJ Nunu. He does pick up the enemy's weapon as well as a quick secondary for his sniper. We're going to see him going for a bomb plant right here, as both the enemies are chilling right near the spawn.
Have now been forced out to play. The defenders need to come into the mix of this.
Right now,
see him there. Yep, hiding just behind the tractor for the time being. They finally begin to engage upon each other. A little bit of extra damage there coming out, but still not going to be enough.
Yes, right now we are going to see the defenders taking their time. What looks like they are looking for a good time to rush. We're going to see one of the members back out from near the bomb site, as we do see a rush from K&D onto the site, as they do manage to get one. We're going to see them go to boxes, which is going to lead them to want to defuse. He is taken down while defusing though, and it looks like there is no more time to defuse, which is going to take XF to the second round win.
And that bomb does detonate in the very end there. So, nice play from XF. Really good positioning from DJ Nuno to use that fountain just to hide on the backside, force out the play from K&D to go for that defuse. And that meant that he was able to buy time for that bomb to explode. We are going to be switching sides though now. Of course, it's going to be K&D as the attackers this time around, needing to plant that bomb. XF as the defenders. And let's see if this ends up changing the score a little bit. Maybe it was an attacker's advantage coming into it.
Yes, right now we're going to see XF playing very right next to the spawn, and we're going to see a very aggressive push from K&D onto the A side. We are going to see one player from XF flanking, however, it's not certain how much they're going to be able to do as they are taken down. We are going to see UDOT. He is going to be attacking barrels, however, he does get taken down by Depressed, who gets his first pick with the QQ9, and K&D brings that to the fourth round win.
Yeah, you could tell Depressed was trying to make something happen, but Neff was able to catch him on the reload. Way too hard for him to come back from a 1v4. If he was able to pull that off, I would be singing praises from dusk till dawn. But we are going to be jumping now into the 7th round. Immediately we'll be throwing out as many of those gravity spikes as possible just to get some controls of the area. Quick kill coming on through from UDOT into DJ Nunu, but Just the Pro will return it. As we can see here, it will be XF off to a quick lead, 4-3, but Neff will be able to even that out.
Yes, we are able to see nice shots from both teams as it brings it down to an even 3v3 situation. We are going to see many of the XF members right grouped together. We are going to see one outlayer with number 1. He is going to be holding top blue, it looks like, with a potential sniper. We are going to see the bomb has been picked up by KND as they are going to look for an advantage to plant the bomb somewhere.
3-3 for the time being. Bomb still yet to be planted. Both KND and XF looking for a positional advantage. We are currently following Loveheart using the Locust. He's going to be walking into a bit of the open there, but no one's ready to attack him, and no shots have been really fired yet. And it is just a posturing game at the moment. Nice hit marker.
We do see both teams get a hit marker right there. They are able to get each other down to a low HP. However, they don't get a kill.
Oh, Neff so quick with a shot. I didn't have a chance to get through the window. It's still going to be a 2-on-2 bomb yet to be planted for the time being again. You can see XF holding that position on B site. KND will be planting at A though.
Yes, we are able to see Depressy is going for some shots, long shots, and we do see Manda get the kills from the damage that he is able to get onto him. We do see it looks like it's going to be a very tough situation for KND to defend this bomb site as they are taken down as they were pinched from both angles.
Yeah, Manda in position to capitalize on the damage that the press was able to pull off, but we'll get the defuse as well. And they're beginning to even up the scoreline that was actually favoring KND beforehand. XF now 3-4, and they're bringing it into the dying parts of this round.
Yes, KND has been very strong so far on the Search and Destroy. However, XF still does have potential to bring a comeback. However, personally, I feel like KND is going to be taking this map as we do see a diamond core die, which was very unexpected from me.
So see what he does pull out when this being said. I mean, he has other things in his pocket, so this is probably one of them that he's actually bringing out now. Pocket beginning to move around, just control the house for the time being. As you can see, XF is holding a decent decent spot in defense in both the areas for B as their main points of control, with no real way for them to get around for a long time, because they're going to have to do the long way around to get to A. As well as the fact that KND is down one member at the moment, so it's a lot is on the board here now for XF to see if they can even up the scoreline, or KND for them to well and truly take control of the game.
Yes, we are going to see KND be in the play disadvantage right here, so they are going to have to pull something right here, otherwise they are going to go to a tied score. We are going to see a lot of the XF members taking control of Granny, which splits up the KND members a lot. We are going to see a quick pick by XF to bring the numbers more into their favor to a 2v5. We're going to see some shots right here, however he is taken down, so unless we can get an ace right here from KND, it looks like it's going to be evening up the scores with XF's round win.
Duo was hopefully with the diamond weapon. He's jumping into it. He's going to put some shots out, but immediately all the members of XF pop out from behind the wall, and it's just too much firepower to deal with. For unfortunately here for In My Pocket. Now it's going to be even up 4 versus 4 XF. Really trying to bring back what seems to be a bit of a reverse sweep. Not a full reverse sweep, but damn near close. Frags going out, smoke is in the air, and we're moving into the next round. It's going to be a quick one as well. XF beginning to lose members left, right, and center, and KND coming back with a vengeance.
Yes, it looks like after that round loss, they are definitely going back to the aggressive rushing right here, as we are able to see them play very aggressively right here. And it looks like they've already brought it down to a 5v2 situation, which is looking very good for them. We do see one of XF's members up in top blue, who is going to be rushed. However, he does bring him down with his revolver, which is very nice to see in that situation.
Nice quick play coming out there. Neff will find Josh the Pro. It's going to really be on DJ Nunu now, who does have a sniper in hand, a revolver as well, but it's going to be hard for him to bring down 3 members for KND. He's trying to walk around. He might find a member, but in the granny flat, we're able to find out and makes quick work of Neff. Is beginning to move and bring the players around a number of places. Doesn't have access though to the bomb at this moment in time, but doesn't really need it. We'll just need to sit back and continue defending. It's going to be up to KND to regain control of that bomb and get a bomb planted ASAP.
Yes, right now we are going to see DJ Nunu play it very slowly as he does not want to die here. He still has 2 players that he needs to kill. And it does look like he does spot them planting the bomb right now. However, he is unable to get a kill onto either of them as they do not peek.
Yeah, the tank actually blocking the view. They still have access to a smoke and will drop that down as well. So Nunu will respond with a frag, begin running around the far side, has access to the right rifle, will get a shot. And absolutely blow up Love Heart is now beginning to find to see if he needs to get in to get that bomb defuse as well. But of course, we'll have to worry about In My Pocket is holding towards the side there. He's trying to find a way around, but is actually taking too much time to get the member. He needs to start the defuse soon if he's going to have an opportunity to win this round. But he's just sitting there letting it go for the time being. He's jumping around, still unable to find the pocket. Going to defuse now, but it's not going to be enough. And In My Pocket will be able to kill Nunu at the very end there. The patience from In My Pocket. This guy is pulling everything out of it in terms of his virtues.
Yes, we did see a very aggressive rush and a very slow ending from KND. So maybe that is what brings them to this round win. Just the transition from the aggression to the passive bomb defending.
ANZ now is beginning to make their move here. Looks like KND will be dropping down their members. XF want to retake control for the time being, and it seems that they will be able to re-even this game up if they maintain their current momentum.
Yes, we are going to see it go down to a 2v5 situation. So unless KND are able to do something very lucky, it looks like it is going to be going to XF's advantage. We're going to see it bring down to a 1v5 situation, which is very unlucky for KND. However, it just looks like XF was able to play out the round much better.
F didn't really have much of a chance with 5 members strong still running around for XF. XF basically said, you know what, KND, rushing worked for you. We're going to follow in suit and rush them right back. And we are 5-on-5. We're in the overtime. We swap back around XF now as the attackers, KND as the defenders. Frags are in position. We can see XF holding Granny, and it seems to work out with them. Put quick kills onto UDOT.
Yes, it looks like UDOT's initial plan of rushing straight away did not go in his favor, as we did see Josh the Pro expecting him straight away.
We are going to just be watching Nunu for the time being, throwing out pot shots with Sniper off for the time being. Is trying to see if he can get some few members. Is going to hit the tank. Probably didn't appreciate that, but at least is letting everyone know that he's got a sniper in hand.
Yeah, but it looks like he was going onto wallbangs into Dali, which is a very common wallbang spot for the standoff map.
Following Iron lead at the moment. He's going to see if he actually be able to find one of the members. They does get some good damage in the pocket, and that will be bringing them down. XF further pushing the advantage.
Now we are able to see the bomb plant go down for XF, and as they do have the play advantage, it is looking very good for them. And right now it's in a 5v2 situation. We're able to see one pick, however, he is at the back right now. He does get the shot, which brings him to a nice double effort. He does get taken down. We see Depressed ready in the corner with his Renetti pistol to take down anyone trying to defuse the bomb. We do see a gunfight right here, however, he does get third-partied by Depressed, which brings XF to the win.
And what a turnaround. KND came out strong in that round, but in the end, XF were able to bring it back and really show us why these guys are a force to not meddle with. So pretty good play coming into it. Looking at that MVP, of course, will be Josh the Pro once again. Really is showing us why he's one of the members that we get to see time and time again come out as those MVPs, and really showing us what he can do. Pretty impressive there when you do see Depressed do such a standout round in that hard point, and then follow one through from Just the Pro, just sort of showing up what might be weaknesses from member to member in these different rounds and different map types.
Yes, we did see a very good comeback from XF as they are able to bring out that search and destroy round. We did see also a lot more guns that I didn't really expect. We saw a Diamond Cordite, which surprised me very much. However, I'm not sure if that was put to very good use. However, I definitely did see it. We also saw an ASVL, which is definitely one of the better ARs in the game. However, I definitely wasn't expecting it to be used as much as it was, and it did get some very good frags onto the enemy team, which is very good for that user.
Well, I mean, as time goes on, we do get to see that meta shift over and over. And really, the players that do take advantage of these changes are just a little bit ahead of the curve, will be the ones that end up reaping the rewards. That being said, though, XF are up to 0 against K&D, and we'll need to see K&D really bring something special to the table if they're going to be able to bring this back. The next game will be a domination on Raid, which means it's going to really favor XF, who are absolutely incredible in that initial hard point. Their ability to move around the map and take control of points. We use that communication, just being generally on the same page, such a strong advantage in the domination map mode. With that being said, though, K&D, I feel like they've warmed up. They definitely were looking very favorable in the very early parts of that search and destroy. I'd love to see them begin to use the fact that they're warmed up now and surprise us and take away a win from XF. Is that something that's going to be possible, especially with the fact that they're beginning to, switch things up a little bit, give us a little bit of differences with the weapons that we begin to see be piloted in this competition?
Yes, maybe we are able to see a comeback from K&D, as they did perform much better in the second round as they did compared to how they did in the first. However, right now XF is looking very strong at respawns to that, and we have seen that throughout the weeks. They've been a very strong team in respawns, able to make quick decisions and be able to communicate well with the team to lead them to the victory. So personally, I feel like XF will be able to take out this map.
The adaptability is the aim of the game. The ability to understand what's happening in the current situation and make those quick decisions. Yes, mechanics are important, but when it comes to the objective gameplay, that quick macro level decisioning is so much more important, especially when it is a team game. We should be jumping into the match shortly. We're just waiting for the players to get ready. Of course, K&D need to make sure that they've got themselves fully collected if they want to stay alive in this particular match or this particular round against XF. Who are we expecting to really shine in this map? So we saw Depressed do so well in that initial domination beforehand, or sorry, the initial hard point beforehand. Are we expecting Depressed to really shine once again, or will Josh the Pro be the one to strut their stuff for the XF team?
Personally, it's been quite a 50-50 on who is the match MVP. Most of the time for XF, it's either Depressed or Josh the Pro. So I can't really make a decision on who I think is going to be the MVP. However, I do feel like I'm more in favor of Josh the Pro if he is going to be using the Holger or the Bison.
Well, we are still waiting for the players to get ready. Let's look at the flip side of this. K&D, how are these guys going to bring it back? Which players are we looking to really step up into that position and start putting the rest of the team on their back, just temporarily, not all the time, of course, and just begin to really give us a nice show going forward?
Right now, all I can say is I'm definitely looking at Neff, as he's the one that I definitely know most about. He has been a solid player throughout the competitive scene, and I have had some games where I have been on his team, and he does seem to be a very good team player.
Well, a little bit of information just coming through right now. I believe we will be having a 4v5 in the next round, and it will be K&D at that disadvantage. So these things do happen, unfortunately. Players unable to field the rosters, and that does mean, of course, that things will be very advantageous for XF, who are already completely owning this round. I believe in the 4v5, especially in domination, is just so much more crucial, or is actually having that extra man is just so much more crucial in a map like Domination or Hardpoint. Is there any real way for them to bring this back in the 4v5, or we're expecting this to be a pretty quick round going the way of XF?
Well, it's definitely very hard to win as a 4v5. It's more easier to do, I would say, in Search and Destroy, where you can get a pick to even out the battlefield. However, having that extra player to be able to capture, hold objectives, and everything else in between, it is definitely going to be very hard for K&D to pull this back.
We definitely will hope that K&D can put on a valiant effort going into this domination round. We will be jumping into the action shortly as these teams are lining up, getting ready. Position currently 10 seconds to go, and let's see what happens, and we'll see what ends up happening here. It is, of course, going to be Neff, In My Pocket, UDOT, and Loveheart They're going to be up against the entire world here, XF being the world at this point in time, and at least they'll be able to capture A for the time being, but XF not wasting any time jumping onto C. Sorry, flip that around.
Yes, I know we're going to see a nice pick from Yuta as he is in a situation right here with Josh the Pro. He does get taken out by Resinks with the sniper. We do see Depressed wrapping around a bit far away from the B point. However, he is going to eventually get map control so that his team is able to take that. Right now, we are definitely seeing an XF dominated game with a B capture less than 40 seconds into the game right now. And we see Josh the Pro holding the point, holding the angles with his LMG right now. He is using the 100 mag, so he's ready to spray and pray as much as he wants.
It really seems to be the name of the game at this point. XF now finally beginning to pull it away with those points. We're talking about the domination coming into a purely strategic in the sense that they're getting control of points, beginning to really take control of everything, and it still looks relatively even. I mean, 14 to 21, they're starting to pull away on the side of XF here, and let's see if they begin to actually take full control of the C point, which of course will solidify a quick turnaround in terms of this match. Of course, the target being 75, but that will be the first half of this map.
So now we are definitely going to see XF here. They are definitely taking the lead in this right now.
That was a disgusting flank from Depressed. He just jumped in and mowed them down directly, but at least KND were able to get full control back of C.
Yes. Right now we do see Josh Pro. He is spraying his LMG everywhere as he does look for a quick peek from the enemy to get some quick damage onto them before they can see him. We see progress on the A flag from KND, which is very unexpected. Look, I expected XF to be completely dominating this game. However, it is going to be cleaned up very quickly by XF as we do see pushes onto the C flag, it looks like.
This is what I was talking about, the idea that KND are warmed up now. They're still being a little bit competitive regardless of being that man down, and it really begins to beg that question. Maybe we might have seen a different result if KND were able to field that full roster. Hopefully KND will get that opportunity to show us what they're capable of with a full man roster in the future. But that being said, XF, of course, with those two initial wins off the bat, definitely showing us why they're good. And that was a very nice shot they're coming through from Depressed.
A very long-range shot with the Renetti from Depressed, which was very nice to see. We see a concussed XF member does get taken down by KND. It looks like they are going to go to the 8th flag right now. So it looks like they could be getting a double cap onto XF right now with a player down, looking very good.
Yeah, bringing it back. 40 to 74. I mean, at this moment in time, we are going to see it swap around, but KND showing us signs of life, showing us that they can actually compete against XF, and I must say I'm slightly disappointed they couldn't get that 5th man into play here, because I think we could be seeing something completely different.
Yes, right now we do see, however, they are able to get the double kill. However, the round does end, which is very unfortunate to them. We see Depressed with a nice double kill with the Annihilator as soon as the round starts.
It's immediately taking off, we could say the training rates here, but a nice slide coming out of Love Heart will immediately wipe him off, and KND showing us they can strut their stuff when they've got the opportunity to do so. Maybe having that one man down gives them a little bit of space to move. Diminishing returns is a thing. Just the Pro there will be finding some extra kills in the back of it, shutting down what seems to be the engagement off the side of the team. But Resinks with a nice shot there will be able to find something in return.
Yes, very soon we are going to see multiple operators come through. We already have seen 2 Annihilators and a Death Machine be used up so far. So I'm not too certain how many players still have the operators. We do see we still have 1 more Annihilator remaining, at least for XF right now. As we do see 1 being put out right now by Manda, as they are looking to hold the B flag right now. We already see XF taking control of that, so unfortunately it's not looking very good for KND right now. The score being 101 to 57.
You see Manus trying to find the shots there, but not unable to do so. Josh the Pro manages to clean up at least 2 players, but in my pocket we'll be able to finish it off. He's now managed to pull his own gun out, and in my pocket we'll be able to find another kill there, or Love Heart will be able to kill Manda.
Yes, we do see
What action.
We do see Josh the Pro spraying his LMG. However, we do... Was that a...
It was a grenade. Look, he blew up, okay? That's what happened. Now he just went boom at that point.
Yes, that was most definitely a gravity vortex, which is what I thought. not very expected to see that. However, it is definitely interesting to see the gravity vortex be put into play. Unfortunately, we do see Loveheart with his Annihilator shots, which eventually gets him killed as the Annihilator is shut down. It looks like this map is definitely going to be going to XF's win. We do see a nice kill from Mand, however they do get taken out. We see Racing's... Oh, he is holding that point very well. Unfortunately, he does miss his shot. Oh, so unlucky. He un-ADSs at the wrong time. Just as they PK over, he's able to get the kill. He sees one at the top of red, however he does get taken down by a Hunter Killer. Very unlucky.
Points well and truly held here by XF. We're closing in what will be the final moments of the round, and it appears that it is going to be a clean sweep for XF, getting that 3-0 off the back. Of course, it is going to be a 4v5 in that final round, so we didn't get to see what could possibly be the full capabilities of KND, but nonetheless, it was a valiant effort coming through from KND at the very end and showing us that, yes, it is still possible to still put on a bit of a performance directly afterwards, but XF, again, just too strong, too consistent throughout all of the matches, and that does mean that XF will be taking away and further pushing themselves that little bit further forward in that competition. Overall, I mean, looking at the press scoreline, you can see that he was the MVP once again, so MVP for 2 maps there, definitely a massive asset on the side of X Factor. I mean, overall, Mal, how would you summarize this particular match?
Well, it looks like XF did dominate that map very well right there. However, KND did have some very good players. We saw Udot, he had 18 kills, I'm pretty certain, that is the most kills that anyone got in that game. So it's definitely visible to see that KND does have the manpower to take on XF. However, having that man down really put them at a disadvantage in terms of capturing the objectives.
That being said, though, KND still have plenty of opportunities to get themselves a bit of extra points and still be in for a fighting chance to get at least some of that lion's share of the prize pool, or even pull out a Cinderella story in the finals. We are going to be now moving to a quick break, but please do not go anywhere. We get to see more of XF up against the Pew Pew Dudes coming up very shortly. And welcome back to the Activision's COD Mobile Community Challenge. I'm Mendrix. Joining me is Mao. And if you are just joining us, you did see X Factor take out K&D in a clean sweep. But you know what they say about the X Factor or XF in this scenario? These guys, once you get a little bit, you need a bit more. We'll be seeing them go up against the Pew Pew Dudes in round 9. And starting that off, it's going to be standoff and hardpoint. How do you feel about that one, Mao?
Well, it's definitely going to be very good to see how teams can both perform in a respawn and search and destroy. So, personally, I feel like we're going to see XF take both wins just because of the power compared to the Pew Pew Dudes. However, we are going to see maybe a bit of variety from the weapons of Pew Pew Dudes.
Well, I mean, when we take that into account and we look at the standings beforehand, we did see that Pew Pew Dudes are leaving a lot to be desired. But of course, still that early points of the competition, I mean, if they manage to really bring it back a massive power swing, they might be able to bring something back and at least make their way into the finals. But it is definitely going to be a hard hill to cross right on over. So that being said, though, XF do need a little bit of time for themselves to get in as we do bring up that map pool. And as we can see, standoff, raid, take off at fire range, and hackney yard, we're going to be the particular map order that we're going in, followed with hardpoint, search and destroy, domination, hardpoint, and search and destroy. Now, if XF manage to pull off another clean sweep, of course, we'll be only seeing the first 3 rounds of those maps. Now, hardpoint on standoff is a little bit different to Summit. Of course, when we looked at standoff had the ability to have a little bit of a longer range map, a lot more options for sniper rifles to be taken into account. Will we see this in hardpoint, or will they continue to use those mid-range weapons to their advantage?
Well, it depends on what approach the teams are going to go for. Personally, I feel like we are going to see more ARs and SMGs. However, if they do want to take on a sniper, they will definitely do that. Either side, they will definitely be putting on a sniper if they wish to. Yes, but shotguns, maybe they could be potentially put to use. However, as I said, it would definitely be ARs and SMGs. Maybe a hog for LMGs, but that's about it.
Well, I mean, I'd love to see a little bit of variety come into it. I mean, already in the previous match, we did see a few different weapons come into the mix, which was definitely a welcoming factor from before when it was just dominated by the QXRs and Bisons. But with that being said, guys, we're going to be jumping right back into the action. We're going to continue to see XF up against the Pew Pew Dudes. Let's see if the Pew Pew Dudes can finally have a bit of a second wind and come back into the tournament, or will XF continue their dominating fashion, which of course will be in the hardpoint first map in this particular one, which will be standoff. Now, I'm really interested to see how this does play out. Very quick movements by both of these teams here, but when I look at it, XF a little bit quicker off that map, a little bit quicker off the point.
Yes, we're going to see XF take the point straight away, as we're going to see a more passive approach from Pew Pew Dudes. However, we're going to see right now a domination so far from XF. We're going to see them get 3 picks straight off the bat and possession of the hard point. We're going to see the spawns flip as more XF members are able to get picks right now. We're just seeing right now, it's just a blue kill feed right now. We're just seeing XF, seeing them take everything so far.
Yeah, full control over Granny for the time being. We can see Pew Pew Dudes are trying to fight back. We'll find a few kills, specifically looking at 8NG to get in there, but Resyncs will be able to maintain control of that for the time being and push them right on out as XF members continue to respawn. Pew Pew Dudes are beginning to make their way in from that side. They manage to get themselves 1 point, but it is short-lived, and of course, in the next 6 seconds, we'll be moving to that next hard point, and XF are beginning to vacate for the time being, but with one member, Resyncs, still holding strong, is going to continue to hold that point, and he's making sure they can't even get the scraps.
Yes, right now we do see Resyncs pick up the Pew Pew Dude's gun right there. It is an M4, which is not considered the most strongest weapon in this game. However, it could be put to good use with its low recoil. We see another pick right now as he does go 7-0. He's most likely looking to get that pick up with that M4 just to have a secondary. However, he does get taken down after getting on an 8 kill streak.
Yeah, Pew Pew Dudes having a pretty decent respawn there, but XF are very quick to react and make sure they still cannot regain control of the point. As you can see, we do have a Predator Mist to come down. 2 kills right off the back there, and Mandor making sure Pew Pew Dudes have no chance to get back into this game.
Yes, right now we do see a very one-sided game with it being 75 to 1 point on the board, as we do see XF dominating right now as the hardpoint is eventually going to update very soon. We do see some rotations go into play to capture that next hardpoint straight away. We do see Resinks, he is 14 and 1, looking very good for him right now. We see Josh the Pro, he's running around with his axe. I'm not sure if he's using that as his weapon right now, or he's just using it to speed around the map. However, he is looking to get some quick melee kills onto the enemy right now.
Just going to be sliding right on through the granny. We'll get one in the end there. Nice little smack onto Lekovitz as well. We'll pick up the rifle as well in return. Is going to be ended up being mowed down by a number of members. And as you can see, Pew Pew Dudes are trying to make their way through that tank side to get in control towards the hard point. But Depressed, they're holding that position there. Does have the Annihilator in play and just making sure they have no chance to get in. Will also drop down a turret for some good measure.
Yes, we're gonna see Pew Pew Dudes get onto the hard point again temporarily, as we do see them try to take out that sentry turret. However, they do get the kill while the sentry is being taken down. We see Depressed with his Renetti right now, who's 13 and 2, looking very good so far. He does get his 14th pick as he places down his cluster strike, and he puts down his Predator Missile right now to get a quick double kill.
It just seems to be on point for XF. Every time they get that Predator Missile, they're taking at least 2 to 3 members. As you also mentioned, that Cluster Strike coming down as well, just to maintain control of the map and the areas necessary. Now that they've got control of the new hard point, 50 seconds on that stopwatch, they need to maintain that control. Pew Pew is trying to get in, but my god, just the Pro and Resinks making sure that with that suppressing fire, it's not really suppressing fire, I guess, if they're finding kills in the process of it. And as you can see here, just continuing to maintain this control, making it very hard for Pew Pew Dudes to get anything.
Yes, we see a cluster strike go down right at the front of the hard point, which denies access to Pew Pew Dudes to access the hard point. And he does get some quick kills with it as well.
We do have some respawns coming into it, but that's not going to mean anything as XF, in a commanding fashion, take the first map here in this round 9. Of course, that is going to be the hardpoint standoff. That means we are going to be moving to the search and destroy portion of round 9. It is going to be raid in this scenario. Now, raid, how does that fare as a search and destroy map for most of these players? What will be the weapons typically of choice?
You'll definitely have a lot of snipers in search and destroy raid. We're going to see at least one sniper from each team potentially. However, personally, I feel like XF, they're going to be very aggressive with this search and destroy, looking to finish it as quick as possible.
So when it comes to the aggression, would you say melee might actually become a particular play style, or a way to push in forward, just to make sure they can speed things up and get things to a very good controlling fashion? Or will they continue just to maintain, look for picks first before they begin to encroach into those points in the map and just play it safe?
Maybe melees could be definitely used, but personally, I feel like it's going to be more SMGs, ARs, just more the things that can get kills at close distance, maybe even shotguns.
I mean, look, finally we might get to see this. Finally, get to see the shorty get piloted as well by one of these players. XF again, really showing us why they have that X factor. I mean, that was an absolute commanding control of the map there. When Search and Destroy, things do need to be played a little bit slower. You can't really rely on the fact that you can respawn quickly to get back onto the map and maintain control. With these flanks coming into play, could we perhaps see Pew Pew Dudes look to just be a lot quicker? Maybe they'll understand that, hey, snipers are the way to go here. If we just hold to the flanks, move in quickly, actually use those close medium rifles, we can make something happen.
Maybe it's definitely interesting to see what they use. However, they are probably going to use weapons such as the ICR and the M4. I've seen them use very off-meta weapons right now. However, they are going to look to put it to good use. They might be playing a bit more passively, knowing the horsepower of XF. However, it's not really my specialty knowing how these players play.
can see here right off the bat, Reesings just jumps in, finds Forpar. Depressed also going to be able to get a shot here as well, but there will be a response by Launch onto that. But the damage is done, as you can see here. 4-1 in the play here, and Reesings just runs in one-man army and completely removes Pew Pew Dudes from the map.
Yes, that did appear to be a less than 30-second round for XF. So they're definitely looking to shut this off as quick as possible.
Back on Reesings again, does have grenade in hand. We'll begin to shift back to the QXR. We'll find one member down onto Forpar. He's going to shoot on through. He's trying to throw out a grenade, but you need a gun at that point. You can see I'm Lied will also find a Gossip Go as well. Down to just Lukowicz. Sorry if I say your name wrong. He's going to be hiding on the side.
Oh,
he gets two.
However, he is taken down, unfortunately.
Not going to be enough there in the end. It's just too hard when it is a 1-on-5 or 1-on-4. Coming back into it again. Looking at the two members there that seem to have the best performances so far in the Search and Destroy, and very quick rounds as well. Now things playing a little bit, they will be rushing and minning each other here as well.
Yes, we already see 2 picks from XF going to Pew Pew Dudes. We see one of XF members gets taken down, and we see him get grenaded from the back, as we do see Depressed get a triple kill right now. We see Reesings is looking for the final kill right now, and he does get the final kill is taken by Mando.
Now when things turn around, they say, hey, Reesings, you're moving a little bit slower here. Now, Depressed steps up to the table and says, don't worry, let me be the person that's the dominating force in this round. Now 3-0 to XF. Again, beginning to move very quickly. I'm Lied going around the flanks here instead. Reesings though will quickly find a kill onto the Gossip Go, Depressed onto 0, and it's just members dropping for Pew Pew Dudes as XF continue to mow them down on this map.
That was a 20-second round. Very quick for XF. They are not looking to waste any time right here.
See how this one plays out. Perhaps Pew Pew Dudes need to slow it down. Quick rounds definitely don't seem to be their way to make things happen. Once again, quick rushes coming out from XF here. We are watching Reesings jump in. He gets Lukowicz, also drops it around, gets 0k as well. 0k, and that was even quicker.
How was that?
That felt like it was 8 seconds. That was some part 10. That was just ridiculous.
Oh my god.
XF, give them a chance. Right now, I feel like that kid in The Simpsons just saying they're already dead. That was just unbelievable.
Oh my god, this is just pure annihilation. We see a 5-man group from
Reesings. 2, 3. Reesings, what are you doing?
He could go for the ace right here. He does look for them, however, he's not able to spot them. We see another 20-second round. This is just annihilation from XF. We're gonna have to go back and we're gonna have to go back and see how quick that 5th round was, because that was fast.
Yeah, if the admins could let us know how quick that was, because I didn't even have a chance to note that one down. That's how quick that was. And Reesings, look at him. What a damn crazy that says. Also, I've just found out the shorty hasn't been released yet. I am depressed right now, but I imagine Depressed is not on the side of XF. And that one being said, I think a little bit of things need to be taken into account here. How quick that was. I mean, Reesings, that was a man on a mission. Time and time again, was rushing straight through the guts of the map. Jumped in, would find kill after kill. The Pew Pew Dudes just didn't have an answer to this man's quick reaction. The ability to twitch into play every single time, just piloting that weapon perfectly, mechanics on point. That is really hard to deal with.
Yes, it was a very aggressive game from XF, and as they just annihilate Pew Pew Dudes with their power and their gun skill, and they can't even respond in time. They're just rushing so fast. They're not sure what to do. They're just like, wait, he's already here, and then they just die.
You sort of really need to take advantage of grenades, of the smoke grenades. A number of different things can be put into position just to sort of stem that really fast advance coming out of XF. That's something I really felt was underutilized in those maps. You could tell they were trying to use it, but they were kind of throwing them out reactively instead of proactively. You know what? I don't think he's there, but just in case, let's put the smoke down. Maybe they're going for the rush once again. Let's throw out that once again. So a lot of different things just coming into the mix there, and Pew Pew Dudes just completely caught off guard time and time again. Let's see if perhaps maybe we can see a little bit of a different story as we do move into that third map. It's going to be domination on takeoff. Of course, you know, we're going to be seeing a little bit of different abilities to take advantage of those different viewpoints or different vantage points. That really is the ability to maintain control around the map, and of course on these different hard points that are being put around, or not really hard points, different locations that you need to be controlling in different sites.
Yes, right now we are going to see most likely, well, most definitely an inevitable another map take from XF, unless they are looking to play it more for the jokes. It looks like right now they are definitely going to go with a Bison, and so he does have a lot of ammo to spare to gun down a lot of Pew Pew Dudes.
Game has gone underway already. You can see both these teams taking control of specific points that they need to as well, and Resinks wasting no time off the back will start to get those kills as well. Just the Pro finding Aiden, and immediately with those frags, those slays coming into play by XF, you can see they're beginning to regain control of the map, and it's going to be 2-1 for the time being.
Yes, right now we do see XF already taking possession of the B flag and already on the A flag, as they are able to get a triple cap in the first 40 seconds of the game. Not even that, 35 seconds. We do see some progression from Pew Pew Dudes onto the C flag. However, it's not going to be enough to capture it so far. We're going to see Resinks already with 6 kills to his name right now, as we do see him run around aggressively looking for more kills. He's hungry right now, as we do see Josh the Pro. He's also doing very well so far. Resinks 7 kills and 0 deaths, as that brings him to his 8th. He already has all his score streaks ready, as he does get taken down, unfortunately.
Aiden G finding that there, but Just the Pro will answer quickly. Gossip Goat finding something in return, but Just the Pro now on a killing spree, starting to find everything across there. Joe, he gets another one. He gets a second 0K, unable to do anything. Lukovic also falling down. Volpar has the vantage point, is finally able to stop the carnage that was Just the Pro in that initial moment.
Yes, right now we are just seeing pure domination from XF, 52-6. This is not even fair at this point. It's just an unfair advantage right now that they have with the gun skill.
Pushing now 60-6, now 10 times the lead. Resinks there continuing to find Volpar. He's shooting down Lukovic, and he will be running it in return. I think he actually missed someone in the corner there, but in the end wasn't unable to find it. He's continuing to get more kills as well. Resinks, once again, a man on a mission. We'll be able to find Gossip Goat as well. He's beginning to move around, and that was so quick. We're already at 75-6, and we're swapping sides.
That was a 2-minute and 4-second round for XF. They are not wasting any time here.
Capture the objectives.
I mean, look, I'd love to say that I was watching a murder, but it'd have to be premeditated. These guys are just moving in the moment. Once again, back onto Resinks, who John swaps to Just the Pro. He's actually put out a Gatling gun for the time being. He's now beginning to continue to just shoot everyone right on down. Depressed, also mowing members from the Pew Pew Dudes down. Oh my god, we're back on Just the Pro. He is completely taking them to school. Oh, this is really hard to watch, I have to say.
This is so... I don't even know what to say anymore. They're just going crazy right now. We see Ring 6, he does get a nice triple. He brings that to a quadruple kill feed right now. This is just a show being put on. They did not waste any time. They didn't waste a minute capturing objectives. They went straight to it.
I feel every moment my octaves are going higher and louder every time I say Resinks or Josh the Pro or Depressed. Back to Resinks. Finally, he's going to be taken down there by 0K.
Right? As you were talking about the nades being used proactively.
Oh, we'll have use of the Annihilator, but swap back to the Renetti for Depressed, who's continuing to find more kills as well. Manda will slide down, but will be found by Lukovic as well. 0K in position, Now watching Resinks once again, just continuing to find these kills. Fourpaw will be mowed right down by Resinks. Then, once again, followed on through by the Gossip Goat. Just too many different things happening at this moment in town, and it just seems to be the Pew Pew Dudes falling down. Look at that, that Hunter drone got 2!
It does get very good value out of that Hunter killer. Personally, most of the time my Hunter killers are getting 0 kills as they just fly into the wall or something. However, he is able to get a nice double with the Hunter killer.
Wow, we're watching Resinks once again, finding a few more kills on the back pocket here, beginning to run around the map. Won't be able to find the kill there as they do find a little bit of cover there. Fourpaw tries to get in for a backstab, but he misses. And this is going to be a very quick round here for XF, who come out in a commanding fashion, 3-0 in this round 9. That was... I mean, I don't know if I want to say if it was a masterclass, but it was definitely a show showing us a different level of gameplay and the differences in skill between these players. Pew Pew Dudes, I love that you guys are jumping into it and playing it, and I'd love to see you guys come back and really show us what you can do with a little bit more practice underneath your belt and begin to show these guys who, yeah, they're having a bit of a fun time right now, but just bring something back in return. But XF, just too good.
Yes, that was just a show being put on for XF, with the second round being done in around 2 minutes and maybe 15 seconds, not even that probably. And right now, it doesn't look like they're gonna have any competition anytime soon with Pew Pew Dudes.
We're going to really be looking at perhaps, Mind Freaks, Pride X Ivory to be the players that XF need to beat, because, of course, Pride X Ivory and Mind Freak are the ones that were on top of the table at the start of the day, and XF definitely will be pushing their way towards that top ladder now with these 2 quick wins and pretty goods in section 3-0 time and time again. Again, the guys to beat, they're looking at that, and perhaps even IFM as well, who were struggling with previously. So yes, we're seeing some pretty good performances by XF, but they're still not the top dogs. They're still not the ones they're still chasing to be at the top of the hill. And you know what they say, the wolf at the bottom of the hill is always hungrier than the wolf at the top. So Mind Freak, Pride and Ivory, IFM, you guys need to watch out.
Yes, definitely. Looks like we're going to... And right now, XF, they are looking very strong right now, as they are looking unstoppable right now after that game right there. Those were those were probably the 3 quickest games I've ever seen, personally.
Well, I mean, that being said, everything is done. XF, thank you very much for that show. But, guys, we still have more coming your way. We'll be going to a bit of a break, as we do have our title match. It's going to be Mind Freak up against Pride and Ivory, first versus second. Please do not go anywhere. It's going to be fantastic. Welcome back to the Activision COD Mobile Community Challenge. Thank you so much for your patience while we've waited for the tournament to progress to our title match. It is all going to be Mind Freak up against Pride X Ivory, and I'm really keen to see how this goes because, of course, it's going to be first up against second in the standing, and that means we get to see the benchmark for the competition, how good you need to be to actually take away that prize pool, the lion's share of $3,000 out of this $9,000 prize pool. Now, Mao, do you have any sort of, well, I'm looking for a specific word here, any predictions for this particular match going forward? What do you reckon we're going to be observing in the near future?
Well, I'm definitely going to think it's nothing unusual. It's definitely going to be Mind Freak taking out this win for me. Most likely, I feel like they're going to be dominating in all the games that are going to be played together and potentially a 3-0. I would not be surprised if that happened.
I mean, that would be a pretty big statement for Mind Freak to put out there. Being first, going up against second, and then 3-0ing them. That really just begins to show the different standard that will be coming out of these players in terms of how far you need to be progressing in order to actually win. So pretty crazy things happening there.
Yes, right now, Mind Freak, they are definitely the most dominant team in the competition so far, and in OC in general. They've always been there at the top, just destroying everyone that there is. There hasn't really been much time where they haven't been the best team in Australia.
Well, we do have a bit of a quick look at the maps that also we're going to be playing here, and it's going to be, of course, of this round 10 raid for the search and destroy, take off for, sorry, not for the search and destroy, raid for the hard point, take off for the search and destroy, domination for the firing range, hackney yard, hard point, crossfire for our final search and destroy. Now, if we're expecting this to be a 3-0, we won't be seeing hackney yard, we won't be seeing crossfire. Now, can we possibly see Pride and Ivory take a specific round off? I'm looking at takeoff, search and destroy. Is that a possibility? Because we have seen that is where the weaker teams tend to have an advantage, or not an advantage, tend to stand a chance against their more domineering counterparts.
Well, takeoff, search and destroy is definitely going to be the most likely spot where Pride X will take off a round. Raid, hardpoint, and firing range are definitely very common maps inside of OCE. So I believe that Mind Freak will have the experience on that map to be able to take Pride X down. So they would, so SND takeoff will definitely be the map to beat Mind Freak on.
We are just waiting now as the players are just in that preliminary rounds, just warming up a little bit to get themselves ready. I mean, most of them have probably been playing in the lead up to this match as well, so things are going to be looking pretty good into it. And without any further ado, we'll be jumping into round 10 between Mind Freak and Pride X Ivory, our title match for today. Really keen to see how this progresses. Of course, it's going to be hardpoint first up as usual, and we're going to be playing on raid.
As the game starts, we're going to see both teams frantically making their way to the hardpoint right now. We see 4 from Mind Freak and all 5 from Pride right now. We see guns blazing, shots going everywhere so far. We see picks from both teams. However, it looks like Mind Freak is going to get the initial hardpoint secured. And we're going to see Toka right here. He's going to be progressing very aggressively right next to Laundry.
Yeah, Mind Freak surprisingly off to a commanding start. 15-0 the points at the moment. 30 seconds left on the hard point. Perfect IQ will be able to jump in and find Toka. Continue to see if perhaps Pride and Ivory might have a way to get into this. Raker's holding the hard point for the time being. We can see Perfect IQ's trying to use that top side, or the top vantage points to get in, but isn't going to have any major success there. But now Pride and Ivory do manage to shoot through the defensive line of Mind Freak and get control of the hard point.
Yes, right now we are going to see 7 seconds left onto the objective right now. It's going to be 32-10 right now with the hardpoint contested. We're going to see rotations mostly from Mind Freak onto the next hardpoint. We're going to see 4 Mind Freak players right next to the hardpoint as Pride and Ivory all respawn ready to make a break right here.
As it unlocks, we see a Hunter Predator drone go out just for a little bit of extra suppression. It comes in big, manages to find Perfect IQ as well, but Raker, ready on the side, will be able to take out Gonzo. And we can see here now, a lot of the members are trying to make their way in as well. Wadey will get Donker. We do see Tokka get Perfect IQ and Havoc pick up Raker. Tokka manages to get Wadey as well into the crossfire, everything being said. But with all the members dropping down between each other, Havoc tries to jump in, but Clean manages to finish it off. Still unable to get anything here. Will be Mindfreak maintaining control of the hard point well and truly.
Sure, now we are going to see Mindfreak off to an amazing start so far, with Clean able to pick up his 5th kill right there. He has his 100 kill already and nearly his Predamus already. He gets it right now as he gets time rewarded for playing the OBJ, as he is going very well right now. He is able to get a triple kill right here. He's doing very well. He looks for more enemies, throws out his Hunter Killer. He is ready to go as the next hardpoint updates. Pride and Ivory are mostly going to be there. However, it looks like Mindfreak is going to be able to make a break soon, hopefully, onto the objective right now. 79-10 right now as they do a very good break right here. We see Clean on a very good kill streak as he spots the enemy behind the car right there. Unfortunately, he's not able to take him out in time before he ducks down.
Does drop the turret though in response. Clean manages to get through the middle of the map, still continuing to rake up kill after kill. Manages to gain control of the hard point, and he is absolutely moving players from the map time after time. Pride and Ivory cannot catch a break when this man is there using this Bison in control. And he's also got his next operator skills and Predator missile still available, probably to be used in that return or in that next move across. Roughly 15 seconds left on the point, still continuing to find kills through this garage. Now has picked up the Annihilator, is beginning to make that move around, needs to see if he can find the members for time to flop around the corner. One of the members will drop dead before he has a chance to even shoot the gun. But as we can see here now, understands where Havoc is. Havoc also does drop down as well. Tokka is the one person to clean up that kill. He's got the Annihilator going, but he can't find anything, and he's finally stopped by Gonza.
Unfortunately, not much value out of that Annihilator. However, Clean has put a solid performance on right now, and he has done a huge contribution to his team with 19 kills and over 90 seconds on the objective so far. We see Dinka right now with 20 kills and 8 deaths with his Holger in hand as he spots more enemies and is able to take them down. He's definitely looking to clean up any enemies he sees right here. We see Tokka with his Annihilator. He gets a nice double right here. However, he misses his 3rd shot and he looks for another. He gets a 3rd, unfortunately, before dying to a grenade.
Yeah, very quick turnaround there to finally find something there, but of course the grenade will be able to find him. Now watching Dinka trying to make a way through, but it will be cleaned up by Wadey. And what a quick finish there by Mindfreak. Even though they did give up a few points, all of it I would imagine is pretty damn indicative of what they actually intended to do. They were happy to actually relieve some of those points in order to maintain control of the hard point in the near future. That meant they have control throughout the majority of the match, and that was an absolute showing. 150 points to not even hitting the 20 mark. That is so rough to do with. I mean, look at that, 14 to 150. Of course, Clean doing very well as the MVP, but when you look at everything else that is said and done, there's more kills on Tokka, there's more kills on Dinka. Clean did a fantastic job of holding the point down, making sure he could gain control, and of course, making it hard for Pride and Ivory to get in and even get some points. But he still has so much suppressing and support from the rest of the team, just in the fact of sheer kills is actually really, really important as well.
Yes, we did see a very strong and quick performance from Mindfreak. They were able to clean Prodex up very quickly. Most definitely the most dominant team in this league by far. And they're showing that as they just destroy all the competition.
It's an illustration of the fact. And again, this is supposed to be the team that is standing second to them. And really, at this point in time, it feels like it is second to none. It's just so rough for them to actually be able to jump in and do anything. Now, we do see the Search and Destroy coming across. We've said it time and time again. This is probably the opportunity for the weaker team to possibly find an advantage, possibly take a game away from Mindfreak. But after that hard point, I'm going to find it very difficult for Pride and Ivory to get anything in there. And purely that is because the movements from Mindfreak just seemed smooth. Sometimes when we watch these dominations, or sorry, these hard points, there's a little bit of a scramble to get in and make those moves across, but everything just felt like it flowed. And even though, yes, there were people falling down, it seemed intentional even, because they might have been jumping in, taking the def at that point in order to stem an advance, and that meant that they had full control throughout the map, even with members dropping down in particular ways. There's definitely a big story that comes out of that intentionality when a player is happy to sacrifice themselves for the bigger picture, and that's something that I can really see as a big advantage for Mindfreak coming into these maps and these rounds.
Yes, you can see the teamwork is like no other. The teamwork is just insane in every aspect. Not just the teamwork, also the gun skill, so able to capitalize on the deaths of their teammates, using them as bait. So right now, they're just showing how good they are.
Well, we have jumped into the search and destroy portion. We will be on takeoff. And already it seems to be a bit of a slower start coming here from Mindfreak. They will lose 2 members quite quickly after we've been singing their praises the entire time. Pride and Ivory strike back.
Yes, we do see 2 quick picks from Pride onto Mindfreak. However, is it going to be enough to take this round straight away? We do see Toka bring it down. However, it is down to a 1v3 situation with Supreme left to clutch for Mindfreak so far. However, it does look like he is going to be having some problems, potentially with his internet, so that's very unfortunate for him.
Yeah, you can see he's making his way through, but the wall's pretty hard to traverse. See what they can do with this. Now, Face Supreme, he's sitting on the side there, just waiting to see Perfect IQ's trying to make a move around. And Gonza does find Pride. Okay, sometimes these things happen. You know, it is part of the tournament. You try to make the best of the situations, and you can see that perhaps having that 1 member down really does put a massive hole into the game plan of Mindfreak. Hopefully, Face Supreme is able to come into this competition effectively now. We are refreshing the round. 1 up currently for Pride x Ivory, who can use this momentum to their advantage and start to run away with a match. But Dinka very quickly wipes out Toka. Oh, not Toka, sorry, wipes out. I mean, so wipes out 2 members here, actually.
Yes, right now we do see Mindfreak in the upper hand this round. We see Dinka going very aggressive with his sniper if he does get taken out. We see Riker at the very back of the map right now. We do see Supreme facing a wall. As we do see Clean taking advantage of the high ground right now. And it looks like Supreme thinks that's a very good wall right now. More important than the game.
Look, sometimes there are some walls we just can't get over. Right now, I feel Face Supreme is currently facing that conundrum. That being said, though, it's still going to be 2-on-2 for Mindfreak up against Pride and Ivory at this point, and Face Supreme might be able to overcome that wall, join the rest of the teammates in this battle. But for the meantime, it is going to be a little bit harder for Mindfreak, and to be honest, I think they kind of welcome that challenge as well. Perhaps keep things a little bit more interesting in this competition. Havoc is going to be able to find Face Supreme, but let's face it, he was trying to get over that wall still, so he'll just have to come back and maybe conquer that in the next round. Now we can see Pride and Ivory continue to hold into it. Very quick from Perfect IQ. Will find Raker with that headshot. I thought Raker had that lineup there, but now it's going to be up to Clean to bring this back for the rest of the team. 2-on-1, not the worst. The first shot's going to Mix. He'll quickly swap over. We'll jump across, find the kill onto Perfect IQ, and now it's going to be him up against Havoc. Let's see what Clean is able to pull off here.
Yeah, so far what I have noticed is we have seen multiple snipers being used for both teams. And that's very interesting to see in this map because Takeoff can be a very close-ranged map in some positions. However, it looks like they're going to be taking the long range of fights with these snipers.
Oh, Clean tries to go for the 360 snipe on the side. They're probably a little bit hating himself that moment of time, but does manage to get the kill as well. He's going to drop on down and go for the defuse, trying to be a little bit cheeky, taking a little bit of the Disrespect's book out of them there, or taking a leaf or a page out of Disrespect's book. Oh, yeah. That was definitely a little bit of a cheeky finish there by Clean.
Definitely trying to be very stylish with his trick shot right there as he does the 360. However, it did not miss. However, it did not hit anyone, but I wish it did. That would have been insane.
Well, we are now getting back into the action. Let's look to see how we're going. I'm not sure if Face Supreme's managed to get past the wall just yet. I think he's stuck there. He's looking at the sky now.
It looks like the sky looks very nice. He's enjoying the sunlight so far.
Sometimes you need to sit back and reflect.
Yes.
Supreme has left the game now at this point. He's meant for the sky, but very quickly Pride and Ivory will get the plant down. Also clean up one of the other members in the process, and Clean was the person that was the standout in the last round, so it's definitely going to be hurting Mindfreak, who are already that man down.
Yes, unfortunately, they are going to have to play this as a 4v5 situation, and it does not look like it's going to be easy for them so far. We have Riker. He is looking to push with his teammate Tokka in a 2v5 situation, not looking very good for them as he does get taken out by Pride X and Gonza.
Well, we are going to see Tokka now, just clean out one of the mines there. We'll find a kill onto Gonza, is now moving towards the balcony here. The takeoff. I don't think he's going to be able to get in and actually find a kill on this bomb there. We'll jump in, but we'll be found by Wadey and Hammy. Ready and waiting. 2-on-1, very hard to overcome those sort of odds.
Yes, right now we do see Pride with the advantage in players and points right now. It looks like we're going to have maybe an AFK. However, it is still going to be... even if they do have an AFK, it looks like, never mind, he's back.
Oh, Habit's connected in this sense, so all good in that sense. But as we can see here now, we do have this match continuing. Mindfreak, though, managing to find 3 members very quickly. Raker jumping in. We'll be able to find something back in return. But once again, we do see that Perfect IQ up against Clean. IQ's managing to find the shot there. Very quick kills off the back here once again. But Mindfreak will be able to bring it back 2-on-2 in this 4 versus 5.
Yes, as we did see Riker using the ASM-10, which is preferably my favorite go-to gun right now, as it did receive a buff in the recent update. Personally, my build has very slow mobility, but little to no recoil, so it's interesting to see how Riker's build compares to mine.
We can see here just holding this particular entry point.
Right now, we are...
Wadey's trying to get through. Nice little top end here. They're going to be dropping down, but not really finding anything. And Pride and Ivory taking their time there, but Tokka will be able to take out Hammy.
Yes, right now we do see what seems to be a house party from Pride as they all stick to the same building right now. Everyone watching each other's flank. However, it does look like they are getting some picks both ways. We have seen one pick from Pride and one pick from Mindfreak, both with snipers so far. And it looks like they're very cautious to push that position right now because they know where they're going to be.
So Raker sitting here now, waiting on this particular flank, waiting to see if Mindfreak do decide to make a move. We'll see Perfect IQ, and very quickly we'll be taking Perfect IQ down a notch. Dinka also able to find Wadey as well, evening up the round for them for the time being. We're actually making it a 3 versus 2. As you can see, Dinka will also find Gonzo as well. Havoc waiting in the wings, but unable to find the shot. And Dinka, with that quick reload, comes back around and takes out the remaining member for Pride X Ivory, taking the advantage in the search and destroy.
Yes, as it seems, the house party approach from Pride, where they all stick to the same building, didn't work out the best for them, considering it also is a 4v5 right now. Mindfreak did win the round with 3 players left, so it looks like they're going to be switching it up right now.
Dinka, gone prone. Wanted to hold both sides here. Just want to slowly and surely make their way across the balcony here of the airport. Making sure they're not giving anything away. Pride and Ivory are near the entrance point here, but Havoc's going to begin to move away. Just monitoring this initial entrance here. Let's see if there's going to be a quick slide in, perhaps to take someone out with a nice little turnaround. Isn't going to see anyone. We'll find Havoc, and very quickly Dinka looks for the kill, and now they know exactly where Mindfreak are.
Yes, it does look like the very stealthy approach from Mindfreak has worked out in their favor as they bring it down to an even situation, having that player down from the disconnect. And we're going to see Wadey. He is looking for the enemy. However, do not get any shots on right now. They're going to bring down
Perfect IQ. As we can see here, Dinka's against Wadey in a 5-5, but Dinky will come out on top. Or Dinka. That's going to be down to Hammy, but Hammy is unable to do it, and it's going to be now 4-2 the way of Mindfreak, really establishing that they are a force to be reckoned with, winning out what seems to be this 4 versus 5 against Pride X Ivory.
Yes, right now, even though Pride do have the player advantage, it looks like Mindfreak is still too powerful for them in terms of gun skill and communication.
We're running now into that next time of the map. As we can see here, no one has gone down yet. Mindfreak, if it works once, it will work again, continuing to do A little bit of a chill approach here. Bit of suppressing fire coming on down, but this time around, Hammy will find clean. Dinka will follow through on Hammy. Now it's going to be 3 versus 4.
Yes, we do see Dinka watching the bottom as he does go out the window looking for more enemies. We do see Perfect IQ right above him, but I'm not sure if he saw him right there. And he does spot 2 enemies. He does take 1. However, the enemy is to his right, and he is able to secure that kill as well. Very well played, as we see Perfect IQ then take him out in that exchange.
Exactly what Mind Freak need, especially when they're that member down there. They're able to actually come through and pick up members as time goes on. Perfect IQ has found his way towards the top balcony here. He's going to drop up towards the top side, drop down, and then make their way through the control room, back up, looking for another vantage point to possibly use that sniper in hand. Also has access to MK2 as well. He's beginning to move around the map slowly for the time being, but needs to get around and see if he can find a shot first against Tokka and, of course, against Raker.
Yes, the bomb has been planted at A, and he is running out of time. He needs to make a move very quickly, otherwise he is going to run out of time. He does spot his first enemy, however, he is taken down by Riker with that ASM-10.
And now Mind Freak bring it to the match point of this particular round. 5-2-4 versus 5. Pride and Ivory doing a valiant effort, but must be feeling pretty demoralized. And the fact that they know they're versing only 4 members at the moment, with Face Supreme moving up the wall into the sky, out of the map. Could possibly be the final round here. We can see there is a bit of a rush coming through from Pride and Ivory, basically not giving Mind Freak the opportunity to use that stealthy approach. But Mind Freak are happy to sit back, actually use the party house aspect they used before in the control room. They're jumping in, but Private Ivory is going down. They do manage to pick up Havoc, Hammy, and Gonza go down as well. Now it's going to be a 2-on-2, as we can see for the time being. It's now going to be down to Wadey, who needs to somehow find a kill against both Tokka and Clean. Jumps in, is going for the shots here, is unable to find him, and it will be Clean finishing off this map. 6 versus 2 against Pride and Ivory. Mind Freak, my God, these guys are just on a completely different level.
Yes, as we saw in that last round, we did see Pride and Ivory. They did look to play a very aggressive round right there. However, it did not work in their favor with the gun skill that Mind Freak have right now. And they were looking to utilize what I think is the numbers as they made that rush. As one of them died to make it even. Hopefully, they would be able to get a trade out of that death to put the numbers back in their favor. However, Mind Freak, they're just too good. They just keep dominating. They're just the best. Even in a 4v5 situation, they still know how to play.
It's just a matter of them using their strategies to their advantage. I mean, that prone move through the balcony side of the control room for the airport, freaking fantastic if you ask me. A 10,000 IQ play, and it really played into the fact of how the Pride and Ivory were actually playing. They realized, hey, they've gone slow for the past 3 to 4 rounds. If they're going to go slow, we can actually take advantage of this prone, completely sneak past them, and then continue to win those rounds. As soon as they realized they did it back to back afterwards, well, okay, Pride and Ivory go, this is not working, we need to rush. They decided to sit back and let them come to them as well. It's like they were playing the mind games perfectly. Mind Freak definitely is an apt name for these players at the moment in time, because they're playing mind games with their opponents, not just with the maps and the guns as well. That being said, though, we are going to be moving on to what could possibly be the final map for this round 10. We're going to be moving into the domination perspective, and that's going to be on Firing Range. Now, Firing Range, you were telling me, has been one of the more favored maps around. Even though a lot of people like to play Raid, like to play Takeoff, Firing Range just seems to be the El Clasico.
Yes, Firing Range has definitely been one of the biggest competitive maps in not only Australia and New Zealand, in the whole world. It's probably one of the most popular maps in the game, right next to Standoff. So it's definitely going to see a very good fight right here, with both teams knowing their way around the map inside out.
Speaking of the fight, we are just warming up now in that round. These guys seem to be ready. We're now in that countdown time of 10 seconds to go. Let's see if Pride and Ivory can take a match out of Mind Freak, or will Mind Freak continue to reign supreme and clean sweep this round? We also have the added advantage of FaZe Supreme making their way back into the game. Looks like the air was just not for them anymore. They've descended from the sky back into it, and it's off to a quick start already.
Yes, right now we do see we're going to see Pride go straight for the B flag, not even caring about C, as they're going to be able to do that later. However, we are going to see Clean go straight onto the B flag as soon as they can for an immediate counter cap, as we see a solid cap by what I think was Clean. Yes, as he already has his Hunter Killer less than 40 seconds into the game. He pops that right now, and he does spot a kill. However, he does get the minor assist as his teammate helps him out right there. And he is looking to go up into the top tower right now to get that high ground.
Yeah, Mindfreak very happy to let Pride and Ivory jump onto the points first to give away a few quick points if it means that we're able to take advantage by getting almost a 3 cap and then following through with a double 2 taps as well. Clean now is the person we seem to be watching, manages to get a few kills back onto Raker. Also manages to find Hemi. We're looking at FaZe Supreme, seems to be moving pretty damn fast now. That wall, well and truly, is no longer an obsolete advantage for him or disadvantage. He's going to be jumping around the side. He isn't going to find anyone to kill. We're back onto Raker. See if he's gonna. We'll have access to possibly see Wadey come through that door. Havoc as well can see them, but is unable to take the shots there and just continue to hold this position, which is pretty nice to actually hold across the board and get some good points in place. Yes.
We do see Dinka go on a nice triple kill right there in wood, taking out the enemy team as they make progress onto that A flag right now. It looks like Pride is going to be going towards the C flag potentially. However, they do now have spawns at A, so that's most likely what they're going to be defending.
We can see Dinka once again going on a bit of a killing spree, gets Gonza, pulls it through another Hunter Predator drone, or Hunter Killer drone out. Now Havoc gets Toka, Raker finds Wadey, and finally we get to see Dinka get taken down by Gonza.
Yes, we see Riker still at the top with his AK-117 Star Camera, Season 1 player right here. As he does nearly have his UAV, he would really like to get a Havoc that is going to be banned, as I just remember.
See here, they're continuing to hold through Havoc. We'll be able to find FaZe Supreme. Dink is now trying to hold that specific line there, but Mindfreak still maintaining at least control of 2 at all times. You can see here, Dinka does manage to get a kill into perfect IQ. Raker finds Harry as well, and it really is all coming up Mindfreak as well in this final map for the time being. Target is going to be 75 before we do switch around, but Pride and Ivory, sitting on 33, aren't out of it just yet.
Yes, we're going to see Dinka. He is going to be picked up at C after getting some nice shots. As we see a triple cap from Mindfreak, as they are looking to secure the round 74 to 34.
And that was definitely a quick ending from Mindfreak. As soon as they were able to get that triple cap, you see the points completely push up. Pride and Ivory had no chance to get something back and slow it down. And now they do have to come back from this deficit, straight away running back into it. Both teams jumping to the caps closest to their spawn, beginning to run through. They're going to be making their way through the shooting range here for the time being. You can see they're trying to get the control of at least some picks and kills before they jump onto that B side. And Pride and Ivory, they're not having a good time. They are dropping like flies.
Yes, we do see Mindfreak. They are looking to get immediate progress onto the B flag, as they are nearly able to pick it up, as they pick it up right now. And we see Pride and Ivory players are swarming right to that flag, hoping for a counter cap.
They do manage to get some kills in return. You can see the different changes happening. Our A, B, and C all under attack at different points in time. But Mindfreak are now beginning to get their respawns in, beginning to wrest that control back. Still control a 3 cap now. They're really maintaining their positions around the map so well that it's making it hard for Pride and Ivory to get those points back.
Yes, right now we do see 97 to 43. Mindfreak definitely dominating in this map by a big margin right here, doubling Pride and Ivory's points right now. As Toka does spot more enemies with the Annihilator, they do get a cap onto A so that they are no longer triple capped right now. He does look for another shot with his Annihilator, however he does get picked up right now. We see FaZe Supreme. He does have his Bison out. He has the new Devilfish camo from the new Battle Pass. Definitely one of the better Battle Passes we've had so far. And we see him running around wood. He looks for a kill and he gets one with his Bison. It looks like he's going to be going for potentially a cap onto A with the enemies right there to stop him.
And see there. Once again, though, Mindfreak continuing to get the majority of these slays time and time again. Tucker managing to find member after member. Will also find Wadey as well. Is going to get perfect IQ. No IQ manages to stop what seems to be a small score streak coming across. But, I mean, it's nice to get it down, but you're still trailing almost 80 points at this moment in time, and you really do need to grab it back. At least look to get yourself at 2 points for the time being. It needs to be a triple cap if Pride and Ivory are going to come back into this round. But Mindfreak once again get the triple cap here, and that seems to be everything said and done.
Yes, right now it looks like there is no hope for Pride and Ivory as Mindfreak do secure this win in just a matter of seconds. There is no physical way Pride and Ivory can come back to this. It's just a domination of a performance from Mindfreak, 150 to 58 so far.
And I mean, really, when you look at it as well, I mean, that's it. They've won. They've managed to take it out against Pride and Ivory. And when you look at it being a 4v5 for the majority of the previous map, a lot needs to be said there about just how much of a force Mindfreak are to be reckoned with. There needs to be a number of level up montages by Pride and Ivory to have a possible chance here. They still have a couple of weeks to get that incremental improvement there, perhaps be a real competition for Mindfreak, but it's going to be a hard, rough ride for them to get to that point where they're going to be competitive, because these guys just seem to be on point, not only just with the strategies, but with the movements, with the communication, well, of course, with the mechanics, because when either one of those players just get running, it seems they can completely mow down an entire team with no response, no reaction, and that is a scary thought to go up against.
Yes, Mindfreak definitely the most dominant team, and they're showing it, not even giving Pride X any competition. There is currently no competition for them in the Oceanic region so far, as they just dominate their opponents over and over and over, 3-0 every single time.
Oh, that was a fantastic performance coming through. A valiant effort from Pride X Ivory as well to take it to Mindfreak. And to be honest, every time we do watch them, even though they do win, that did feel like probably the most competitive team going up against Mindfreak. But we still have one more match to close out the day, and that is going to be KND versus Disrespect. So if you want to check that out, please do not go anywhere. We're going to have a bit of a break before we do bring them on board. Welcome back to Activision's COD Mobile Community Challenge. We've sped through it today, but now is the last but not least match between KND versus Disrespect. And now, even though both these teams are both 5th and 6th respectively, and we do believe that these guys do have a little bit more in that back pocket, a little bit more in the tank to actually show us they can push through, because it's still not out of it just yet. They just need a few extra points to get themselves up those standings and possibly make their way into finals. Now, who do you reckon is going to have a little bit of an edge coming into this competition? We did see KND do well against XF, but we kind of feel that perhaps maybe they haven't really unlocked their full potential.
Personally, I feel like it's going to be a very close fight, and it's going to be pretty tough to decide who is going to be the winner of this round. However, personally, I also do think that KND do have the power to get on top of the game and pull out that win.
You did see that they had some pretty decent abilities up against XF, who are one of the higher rated members in the competition so far. And when you think, or when you take that into account in the competition, when they do have the ability to actually hold their own in those scenarios, it does mean that perhaps maybe they haven't been flexing or strutting their stuff enough, and it's just a matter of them, just shaking off those nervousness, shaking off the nerves, getting in there, applying a little bit of extra focus, and then it can start reviewing some positive results. Disrespect, we have seen them definitely perform up against a few teams in this competition, but sitting at 2-4, haven't had the most commanding performances, and we'd like to see a little bit more come out of them as well. So, I mean, a lot really is coming into it. It is 3:30. We are actually half an hour ahead of schedule. So the games today have been really quick, but I think this is the first time that we won't be seeing a clean slip in the 3-0. I feel like there will be a bit of back and forth and a bit of an ebb and flow in these maps.
Yes, most definitely. It's probably going to be the most closest match we've had so far, and it's probably the best one to watch personally, just because of how similar these teams could get. Personally, I feel like in Search and Destroy, KND will be able to take out that win. However, it's going to be very close in the respawns.
Or for all of these players now, we will be moving on to round 11, or this is round 11, and let's have a quick look at that map pool. It's going to be Takeoff, Firing Range, Hackney Yard, Crossfire, and Summit. Starting off Takeoff as our hard point map. Of course, Firing Range will be that Search and Destroy, and the Domination will be Hackney Yard. Now, with this hard point for Takeoff, a little bit different going forward, purely because when I look at hard point, there is just so many different ways to traverse through that map. You've got a number of ways through the balconies. You've also definitely have a large flanking area through the sides of the map, and of course a large and still well controlled and actually has a number of coverage points through the middle. Where do you prefer to go through, Mao, in this competition? If you're going to be taking it in Takeoff, do you run straight through the guts, or do you actually try to play around and play it a little bit slower?
I would definitely try and take the high ground. There's a lot of high up positions that you can get to get that advantage and also watch over a lot of the playing field. So definitely the high ground is something to look out for in this map, especially when you're going up near that area to the left. If you're coming from near the A flag in Domination, it's definitely one of the best positions to hold, and also it's going to have the second hard point there, I'm pretty certain. So that would definitely be where I would be going first.
Some very strategic situations on the Takeoff map that needs to be maintained and under control for both these teams if they want to have a chance of taking away the first point and actually, obviously being off to a good start, moving into that next Search and Destroy round. I'm really interested to see how it does play out. Of course, we have Disrespect completely show us what they can do when they go up against the Pew Pew Dudes. KND, on the other hand, of course, did have a little bit of a disadvantage against XF in one of the rounds where they lost one of their opponents. So hopefully this time around we can have a full-on 5v5 and shows that it's going to be pretty good. That being said, though, I think we will be just giving it a little bit more time to ensure we've got things going and make sure it's going to be okay, because possibly we might have another 4v5 while teams are making sure they can field their entire rosters. Would you like to see a 4v5 or do you want to see a 5v5? What's on your mind there?
I would definitely prefer to see a 5v5 just so that we can see the true better team that comes out of this game.
Right, yeah.
So in a 4v5, it would be pretty difficult to see who's really the better team. Like KND, let's say they're at a 4v5. They could be doing very well, but they would lose the round. And we wouldn't really know if that was because they had a player down. Because of that player down, we wouldn't know if it was maybe they should have been playing more on the objective. Maybe that remaining player that they were missing could have got more kills so that they could capture the objective more.
Well, I mean, when you take that into account, it's very hard to pinpoint how a game or match would have gone when you're a player down and that team particularly loses. Completely a different far cry from the previous match that we watched between Pride and Ivory versus Mindfreak, where they had that player down in the search and destroy, and were still able to come out on top. And that really is something that really pinpoints exactly how powerful of a team they are. And it really was a bit of a statement, really, when you take that into account. We are just still waiting for that next round to come into it. Now, let's talk about the fact that we are starting to see a few different guns, a few different variations from the players that enter into it. What specifically stood out for you so far in this tournament today in terms of those different variations of guns that we've seen away from the QXRs and the Bisons?
Well, there's definitely been a lot of different guns that I wouldn't have really expected. The ASVEL I probably expected, but not to be used as much as I saw it be used. The AS710, I guess with the buff it recently got, where it got a slightly faster ADS speed, I expected to see it maybe come out a few more extra times, because personally it's my favorite gun to use right now, just because of the 3-shot potential that the weapon has up until a certain range. We've also seen a Diamond Cordite and PDW, which is very underused in this SMG AR combination of a meta right now. And also the AMAX, I'm just going to assume that most of the players haven't yet unlocked that weapon, just because it is tier 21 in the battle pass and it has only just recently came out, so it is going to be pretty hard to unlock just for now.
Well, I mean, we will wait and see. Perhaps we get to see it next week to see how well it will perform in the current meta, whether it's going to be able to wrestle out some of those big power weapons at the moment, like the QXRs, like the Bisons, or if it's going to be able to be in full control, or actually just be something that's like, well, it's nice, but it's still just nowhere near as good. I think we also need to take into account that we should be now moving into that next game, so pretty happy for us to get this going, get underway, get into that action as well. And we are jumping into it now. It seems to be a little bit of a wait there. So very keen to see what is going to be the final match of the day being closed out between KND versus Disrespect. Unfortunately, it looks like it will be a 4 versus 5 with Disrespect at the advantage, having that extra player in their midst.
Yes, right now we're gonna see Disrespect take immediate possession of the hard point right now, as we do see some kills from Keo to take them off. However, he is wiped out by that last player. We see Nalu, he is with his AK-117 right now. He's firing quite a range, however he does press the ADS button, which is good for him as he gets that kill. He does see the players up top, which was where I was talking about, my primary position where I would be holding so far. We do see Desire with his Holger LMG, as he is holding right in between these things right here. He's going to go onto the objective right now, as we see Disrespect. They have a very good lead already on the hard point right now, as they are going to see the hard point end very soon, as we do have some contest. However, Disrespect still takes control.
Yeah, KND is trying to get in there, but Disrespect is holding it down the hard point with pretty much everything that they need, throwing everything plus the kitchen sink at KND. Of course, as you can see now, with the next hard point will be opening up in the next few seconds, and KND seem to be the ones ready to go on that point. Never mind though, even though they do have a few members from Disrespect there, they will be able to kill them out, but Disrespect once again stamping their control and authority on this map.
Yes, we do see Disrespect with that player advantage. They are taking a very big lead right now. Extra plays are very helpful in hard point and domination. However, because they don't have them, it is going to be very hard for them, KND, to make a comeback so far. However, they do get control of the hard point, which is good for them. However, it looks like it's shortly lived, as Disrespect do get control. However, they do get it back once again.
Short-lived seems to be the name of the game now, as they're continuing to move back and forth between giving up control and regaining control between both of the teams. But finally, it seems it has settled. Disrespect seem to have a bit of an advantage or player advantage up there in that balcony now, but 3 seconds out until it does close away, and we can see the rotations from the players once again as they begin to make the move down. It will be Disrespect a little bit quicker to the point there, and we're going to be looking specifically what seems to be Rachel holding that point and getting those extra points now for Disrespect.
Yes, right now we do see Disrespect 83 to 17. Definitely with that extra player, they're using advantage of that. We do see U-Dot. He does pull out his Hunter Killer, however, it does get a hit marker. We see an MSMC not very commonly used, and he has Platinum on her, so he's very dedicated to the SMGs. As he does get a nice triple right here, as he does have to reload due to the small magazine of the MSMC. He does make some pressure. He does put some pressure onto the hard point. However, he does get taken down by a Sparrow from Disrespect. Here with the axe, however, does get taken out by Nalu.
We can see here now Candy trying to get in, but Disrespect holding firm on this particular point. Going to see whether they're able to get through. A little bit of a firefight here, and it seems that it's going to be U-Dot that comes out on top. Manages to get Rachel. Rachel, though, is going to be followed on through by another team member, and that's going to be able to take out U-Dot. Still unable to get in, but we are now moving now to the next hard point. K&D are the ones in position a bit earlier here. We can see that Nalu's got that Annihilator in hand. He's trying to make it work. Gets first shot off. Will miss against U-Dot. U-Dot will fire a number of rounds, but it's not going to find the mark either. Unfortunately, getting not the best use out of that Annihilator here.
Yes, we're going to see some Annihilators come out for both teams. However, looks like Disrespect, they have already taken the game. 150 to 19.
That player advantage really beginning to show itself for Disrespect there. You could tell they weren't taking anything to chance there. They wanted to make sure they had full control throughout that entire game. And from that point there as well, just nice, easy plays across the board using that brute force advantage. And of course, the fact that they are on the same level of player skill as well, able to take that easy win then. As we are looking at Desire. Desire is going to be the MVP for that round on 11 kills. Desire doing a fantastic job at holding points. Whereas we got Nalu basically being the slayer of that team, running around 13 kills. Pretty damn impressive, if you ask me. A good performance from Disrespect, but K&D still trying to do their best. And again, I've said it once, I've said it again, a valiant effort to do this in a 4v5.
Yes, now after seeing that performance from Disrespect, it really makes you wonder, was that because they had an extra player, or did they just play it better than K&D did, or what was the cause of that big loss? Because that was a very good performance from Disrespect.
When I looked at K&D's round, when they did play that domination as a 4v5 against Pride and Ivory, they managed to rack up a few extra kills or a few extra points off the back of it. Now, again, I can sort of see that maybe K&D are a team that needs a little bit of time to warm up. It means they might have a bit of a slow start, and then they start to really come online. But when I look at everything that's been said and done there from that score margin, I feel Disrespect would have been able to come out on top. And you can see that also being reflected in the current standing, because they are currently still a few extra points, or at least 1 point over K&D for the time being.
Yes, right now we are going to see Disrespect. They are going, as they do make a much more impressive performance than I do think they would make. Personally, I did say that I believe that K&D would be able to make a better impact in the Search and Destroy game. So we're shortly going to see how they are able to perform inside of Search and Destroy. However, personally, I feel like with that player advantage, it would be very tough for them to pull out this win.
I'm in full agreement with that one there. It's basically they've already got their work cut out for them going up against Disrespect, but to also be a player down, that is damn rough. We are going to be moving now into the second map of round 11 between K&D versus Disrespect. It's going to be the Search and Destroy of firing range, something that most of these players are pretty well versed in, and we are going to see that Nalu is going to find U-Dot with a grenade right off the bat. And very quickly, we can see Disrespect taking the player advantage in this particular round.
Okay, it's already down to a 1v5 situation now, a 1v4, with a BK-57 being put to use right now. However, they do get sniped through the wall by Desire.
And right off the bat, Disrespect using that player advantage, also using the fact that they were able to find, I imagine, very good map knowledge as well to find easy kills with grenades, and of course using that sniper to good effect. K&D don't really have a chance to get into. We can see that there seems to be a bit of return fire with the grenades out there as well. I'm going to be watching everything else coming into play here as well, but no members yet to go down. A few shots being fired, but nothing finding the mark. And things slowing down a little bit now in this Search and Destroy between K&D and Disrespect.
Yes, right now we're going to see a very aggressive rush from K&D.
we're going to see a very aggressive rush from Disrespect onto the B site right now, sorry. As the bomb is being planted, it's down to a 3v5 situation for Disrespect's advantage.
Well, they do need to get in there, but as we can see, they're one member down for Disrespect, but KND, they're dropping like flies. As soon as they had to act on the bomb being planted, they had to get in there as well, and Nalu will be able to finish off that round, taking out Love Heart through the tunnel. Now we're going to be moving into the next part. Very quick movements from Disrespect to get in and make this play happen. Let's see if they continue to play with this very quick fire round attitude, rushing a specific site, or they begin to fan out. And it seems to be that rush strategy once again, heading or hardlining straight towards B. KND, they're on the other side, are trying to fan out to get the best coverage possible, but they're already behind the A-ball, and Disrespect are looking to plant.
Yes, I know. We already do see Disrespect. They are already making very good aggression onto the B site right now, as the bomb is going to be planted right now. We're going to see KND in another unfortunate player disadvantage.
5 versus 2 for the time being. It's been up to KO and UDOT. Never mind that, just UDOT now to pull off the clutch. Currently, UDOT is moving towards these bottom sides. As you can see here, Jade manages to get that top ground and comes into it, but he will be greeted by 2 members. Manages to take out both Rachel and Glock on the phone as well, beginning to backtrack the way around. Perhaps we're able to find it. Manages to get a few shots onto Nalu. Nalu now knows where UDOT is. As you can see, he's beginning to fan around as well, but the time is dropping down. He won't have a chance for it. It does see Nalu drop to down to the side. Will at least try to get the shot off first, but Nalu's too quick and manages to get that return kill. Now 3-0 for Disrespect.
Yes, Disrespect putting up a very solid performance so far. They're doing very well. 3-0 so far. They could potentially go for a 6-0 without any rounds dropped.
We're coming into it now. They seem to be changing position, looking for a rush on A instead of B. Right now, KND managing to lose another mode. Now down another one as well. Very quick rounds. UDOT there will be found, but it does manage to get a few members. Does Zayanalu go down? Bit of a turnaround here. UDOT looking for the clutch.
Yes, UDOT, he does have to watch his flank though. He does have one of the enemies that could have gone from behind him. However, it seems they have rotated over to barrels onto the A side. He does pick them off. Now it's just a 1v1 situation for the round win so far. The bomb is in Jade's hands right now. So she's going to be in trailer right now, waiting for her time. It looks like she's going to be making a rotation over to B. However, she does spot the enemy. She does go through Armory to get that extra coverage from the building.
Seems to realize what's going on now. Is trying to hold control of A. I thought was about to make the move towards B, but has not made that rotation around it. It seems Jade has managed to get away. Will look for the plant there, but checking to see if perhaps UDOT realize where she had made her move across to. Not going to be the case this time. And now, as you can see, bomb has been planted. Bit of advantage here for Jade. Now, as it seems, it's going to be up to UDOT to find the member and look for the control. You can tell, looking to hold these 2 areas under. Will throw out a grenade for the time being just to hold that down. UDOT goes prone, but isn't going to find it. They're going to be shooting down. Then UDOT finds the kill onto Jade. Manages to get the clutch through as well. Will throw out the Hunter killer drone for some good measure. And we'll be able to at least take 1 map away from Disrespect and this 4v5 in this search and destroy.
And that could have potentially been an ace actually, because you get 100 points per kill, and a hunter killer drone costs 500 points. So that could have been an ace that UDOT just did there.
Yeah, I think it actually absolutely was. UDOT managed to take out all the members from their 1-man army in play, but we are jumping straight into the next round, and UDOT's the first one down.
Very unfortunate event right there. Just happen to have we do see an aggressive desire with the sniper into trailer, who does get taken out, and we see Nalu, he does get a pick after and then gets picked off, and then Rachel gets a nice trade onto Kyo.
You can see Disrespect coming back with a vengeance. Really did not like losing that round and made quick work of KND. We're now swapping around. KND will be the attackers. Disrespect now having the ability to defend instead. As we can see here, a bit of a different play. We're going to have 4 members make their way towards A. There will be a flashbang that comes down, and members immediately drop it for KND.
Yes, we already see a 2v3 situation right now. We do have Rachel alive. We do have Kier alive for KND, the last one, who unfortunately gets taken out by Rachel.
You can see now Disrespect well and truly back to their commanding performance again in this search and destroy. Currently on match point, KND need to somehow bring back another 4 games to even this one out, but definitely going to be a hard pill to swallow or a hard feat to achieve when you take into account it's that 4v5. A much slower gameplay here from KND here. Kyo does manage to get a few kills down at the end of the back of that, but is not going to be able to find anything here from Disrespect. And KND take the lead with members currently with Kyo finding Desire as well, 4-2. And KND, they're down, but they're not out.
Yes, the aggressive rush from KND definitely did take Disrespect by surprise, as they didn't really expect it. Now we just have Nalu here to clutch. He is looking for one more, however, he does unfortunately get taken down by one of the KND members, so unfortunately he is not able to clutch.
And KND survive another round in this search and destroy. Nalu almost ripping that survival away, and for us to move on to the third map, but we can see now running back into it again. Grenades going out for the time being. No members down just yet. Bit of a rush here towards B side. And Disrespect do lose one of their members. Rachel does end up finding Love Heart though in the end as well. Bring it down to a 3 versus 4. A few pot shots, a bit of a hit marker there, but no one will go down.
Yes, we do see both teams getting a pick so far, even though KND does have the play down right now because of that 4v5. We do see an attack on B right now. The bomb has been planted just off right now.
Whoa! KND, just drop.
Yes, as they just got destroyed. Oh, jeez. As they are left with 1 player left to defend this bomb against 3 players right now. Unfortunately, he does get taken out by Jade, and that's going to give Disrespect their second win.
You can see there, I mean, they had the right idea, they had the members in place, got the plan down, but when Disrespect were able to get themselves into that right posturing position, were able to make their move, and they were absolutely decimated a defensive line for KND, and of course, being that 1 man down makes it just so hard for them to get themselves back into it. In this case now, as we can see, 0-4 Disrespect. Rachel, the MVP of this round with 12 kills, and Nalu as well sitting there in second. Pretty damn good if you ask me on the back of this. That is a pretty decent kill score or kill advantage to have over the rest of your teammates. Rachel really pulling through and being that top player for the map. Now we're going to be moving across, of course, to what's going to be the domination round, possibly the last map. We've actually had 3 zeros the entire day, and it's looking like we're going to be on track for another one as well. The final map is going to be Hackney Yard, something we don't typically get to see as much in the map pool across the board. How do you feel Hackney Yard's going to go here in this domination?
Well, definitely one of the lesser played maps in the Call of Duty competitive for Oceania. It's going to be interesting to see how both teams are able to play this out. However, if we're going off the previous 2 maps, it looks like Disrespect is going to be able to close it out quite quickly.
I mean, history has a real good chance of repeating itself, especially when we look at the statistics and the current ways it's all playing out. And not only that, I mean, even if I look at this, I don't want to take too much away from Disrespect. They do seem to have pretty damn commanding performances regardless, because you'd like to see it and go, okay, yeah, you're down 1, but in a search and destroy, typically when you see it happen, it normally ends up being a 1 for trade, a 1 for 2 trade, or a 2 for 1 trade, or a 1 for 1 trade. It hasn't been the case. In Disrespect, in fact, has been able to come in and take out 2 for, what was it, 1 for 3, 2 for 3. Those seem to be the trades coming across for them instead. And when you do have those trades happening in Search and Destroy, it does mean that they're probably going to be the ones coming out on top. Again, I can't take it away from KND as well. Who knows what would happen if it was to have that extra player in the map. But we're just trying to illustrate the differences between these teams right now, between these players, and really just point out, hey, there is a discrepancy here. We can't give you that full analysis, that full objective review.
Well, so far, it looks like Disrespect has been putting on a solid performance, even though you have to take into consideration that KND is a player down. I don't think that would make much difference in terms of who wins the round for Disrespect, because they've been just playing so well this week.
You can see it right now as well. Disrespect very quickly taking control of the points here. B seems to be falling under their control for the time being, but K&D will be trying to stop that from going down. With 3 members down on it, though, you can see they quickly take the point, move around, and then start baiting the rest of K&D into that B side.
Yes, we do see already a B capture by Disrespect so far. Very quick capture right now. As we do see Desire, he is spraying his LMG. He does have 100 bullets for him to spray and look for kills. So it doesn't really matter about the accuracy. You can be spraying and praying with that LMG.
Well, Desire does find Loveheart, comes in from behind. And continuing to make their move around at this point. Disrespect well and truly lead, 23-14. Desire shooting out as many shots as possible. Is trying to get onto On My Pocket there, but against Keo as well. Will be short-lived and will drop down. Disrespect, though, still sitting on 2 points for the time being. Glock on my phone gets Oxen. As we can see here, Jade is trying to use that top area there. Will actually protect and find a new dot. Nalu now gets Keo, gets U-Dot. Jumping on through. Allows the rest of the teammates to continue to move through this position. Now they're beginning to slowly encroach towards C. Manages to get a extra 3 kills. Nalu absolutely decimating. That's up to 4 members, but Loveheart will be able to shut that Rampage right down.
Yes, we do see 3 K&D members. 4 all K&D members right here, ready to take on Jade. However, she does drop down to the K&D members. We do see Gronk. He is looking to take some shots. However, he is not able to secure the kill right here. And he does get taken down by U-Dot from K&D.
You can see here, Nalu does find U-Dot as well. Pocket finishes off Jade. They're trying to get through, get their way into this warehouse, but unable to find the shots. Their suppressing fire goes down. A few hit markers as well at the same time. My Pocket will be taken down by Glock, or Glonk. U-Dot unable to make anything through Desire. Completely shoots them right on down.
It's right now. We do
to
see
do that,
Disrespect. We do see Disrespect with a great lead right here. They've had the B flag cap for so long. It does not look like K&D is going to be able to do anything against this. Now it's just going to see what is K&D going to be able to do on the second half, because right now it doesn't look like they can do much.
And it looks like we are going to be swapping right on over now, 75-40. Making that move across. And I really want to take into account the way Disrespect played that out. They had no intention of looking at C. Everything was all about playing through A and B. What they did was they just maintained control of those 2 rounds there and make sure as long as we have 2 of the points, doesn't matter about the 3rd. They can have that. And you can see that illustrated them having a very clean control throughout the entire game and taking advantage of the fact that they are going up against a team that is 1 player down.
Yes, right now we do see Gronk. He is going to make progress onto the A flag right here, and he is able to capture it straight away. And we do see them also taking the B flag. So in the first 30 seconds of this half, Disrespect have already got a triple cap onto K&D.
They're playing it nowhere near the same level of conservatism as before. Disrespect just blowing up onto this map. Still with that triple cap for the time being. K&D are trying to wrestle it back, but of course, there seems to be a little bit of good control coming across from Disrespect to make sure that they're now finally, as you can see, they might be able to at least get C back for some good measure. Few members going down. U-Dot does manage to get Rachel, but that will be fallen down by Glock on a phone. Jade takes out In My Pocket. Finally, K&D managed to get back that C point as well. And Disrespect right on back to the way they wanted to play before. We're just going to hold A, we're just going to hold B, and let them have C.
Yes, right now they do have a capture onto the C flag. However, it still won't be nearly enough right now, as they are going to have to be able to do a triple cap K&D, otherwise they won't be able to win this game at all. They'll have no chances. We see U-Dot get a nice kill onto Gronk. We see
now getting C, and we're almost back to a triple cap, but K&D stopped that right in its tracks, managed to get part of it back as well. And that does mean that we will be slowing what seems to be the inevitable win here for Disrespect.
K&D definitely not going to be happy if they are going to get the C flag captured. And it does get captured right now by Gronk on phone. And we do have a war machine from Keo. He is looking for the enemy to potentially blow him up with his grenade launcher. And they do get that kill from U-Dot. And as his war machine runs out, he is looking to secure the C flag. However, he does get taken down by Desire with his Holger LMG.
Continuing to do shots as well here from time to time. We're getting close now to that 150 target. Still a 3 cap for Disrespect. Even though members are dropping down for both sides, it doesn't look like it's going to make a difference. And in the end, it will be a 3-0 clean sweep by Disrespect, taking advantage of that one player down and also taking into account they had very commanding performances at the same time. That really means that it's really hard for them to really lose in that scenario. If they're on point and at an advantage, very easy wins coming across.
Yes, it looks like a very dominating performance from the Disrespect side. We have seen 4 3-0s today in this commentating. We've seen it versus Mindfreak get that onto Pride. We've seen XF get it onto, I believe, K&D. We've seen KXF onto Pew Pew Dudes, and now we've seen a Disrespect onto K&D.
Well, as we can see there, a bit of a shout out there to Glonk being the MVP for that round. 16 kills, not a small feat in any sense of the way. So congratulations there, and a big congratulations again to Disrespect, who managed to take away that clean 3 sweep. And that's going to be 3-0 for all games in the day. Everything being said and done, Mao, it's been a pretty interesting day. Of course, there's been some very commanding performances, a little bit of signs of life against the players that didn't able to hit the mark or meet the mark today. But what I really like to take into account is now we're starting to see that slow shift out of that QXR Bison meta and starting to see a few different guns come into the mix. And that's something I'd love to see, a little bit of variety, a little bit of something different, and perhaps something that begins to make an effect on these on the rest of this tournament going forward. How do you feel about that, Mao?
Runner, it's very interesting to see how the players learn from this week so far. We've seen 3 clean sweeps that I've already mentioned. So there's definitely going to be a lot of going back to the drawing board and figuring out how to stop that from happening next time.
Oh, we are going to be just bringing up the schedule very quickly here as well, as we can see, or just to let you know, just round out the day and just have a quick look at everything. It was K&D up against X Factor. X Factor managed to take that round out. Then it was FX versus Pew Pew Dudes, or actually X Factor once again, giving it to XF, getting 2 wins today. Mindfreak, absolute dominating performance against Pride X Ivory, who actually had that 4v5 member down in the Search and Destroy and was still able to come on top. And of course, Disrespect closing out the day with a 3-0 against K&D. With everything said and done, guys, we still have more of the group stages ahead of us next week. We'll be back once again at 1 p.m. So that's everything from both from me, Mendrix, and from Mao. I'll see you guys next week.
I'll see you.